Hey everybody, Sycra here, and today I'm doing another super stream with a bunch of cool guys. We got CT Chrysler of CT Chrysler fame,
Hey.
I guess. We got Costa from I'm Costa Long. We got Ricardo, we got Sinix, we got Siege, Jet, and bobmeatbag.
Hey.
Yo.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
I'm sorry, I had to.
Dude, the service
That was Jet.
Well, I'm ready.
So, you guys, for Bob, you
I'm
can,
not sure the YouTube link in the
let
box there.
people know what you want him to draw, if you want him to draw something. And in the meantime, you know, if you have any questions or you wanna shout out for where you're from, and you can put where you're from, what time it is. Any questions you have for the guys? We got Sinix here. I know a lot of people have been wanting to see Sinix for a while.
Oh boy.
And, it was hard to get him here, and he's really expensive. So I really hope you guys. What?
What? Huh?
Thanks for outside comments. Okay. Let me check the chat. So I'll be basically moderating the chat and watching that.
Wow. It's like the most responsibility you've ever had.
Yeah. Thanks. The next.
No problem. Great.
Okay. Mr. No Inch says, draw a muscular guy with really small legs wearing Daisy Dukes and a wife beater because it would be extremely... Okay.
Muscle guy. It would be extremely okay. Oh man, the chat's coming in fast. Oh no.
I don't have it open yet.
Oh my gosh. There's your
I
assistant.
can't even see it.
Alright, it's 2 a.m. for Artifacts 9, 7 o'clock p.m. for Rico. In Brazil, it's 2100 hours.
That's not a real time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it only goes up to 12.
Top of the morning to Ireland.
It's 1 a.m. in France. Gee.
Wow.
Alright.
Alright, okay.
Okay. It's England, we got Missouri representing, we got Hungary, Brazil, Ireland. Siege is in the house. He is! He is!
Siege is in the house. He's here. We got
I
a
like
good show.
Siege. He's a talented guy.
Sycra's here. He's here.
Sycra's here, I heard.
Yeah, we got
like
Sycra. So
Where is he, man? I've been looking for that guy and I can't find him. Every time I go to the washroom, I see him in the mirror and then I lose him.
dude, that's you. You're Sycra. Silly.
Okay, I'm up and running now.
Oh, someone is from Ukraine.
AMers. They're all watching in the middle of the night.
Oh, Kiri says,
Yeah.
Kiri Goshima says, draw a gargantuan ape nursing a regularly sized defenseless otter, again with the otters in the desert. What's with the otters?
A defenseless ape defending an otter?
No. A gargantuan ape nursing a regularly sized defenseless otter in the desert. So specific, so random.
Somebody really likes otters in here.
Yeah, dude, it's Jet's, like, people in Jet's channel, they have this weird thing. People who, every time I go to his stream, it's otter this or otter that. It's always otters.
What did you do, Jet? What's going on? What's with the otters?
The Otter family. Otter family kind of joined in on my channel. They hold hands. They float around backwards.
Oh.
And they watch my channel, so
That's adorable.
it's kind of nice.
People highly respect those otters.
They're cute. Alright, enough time for photos.
When I was a small kid, I wanted to write books, and then I would have been an otter.
You would have been an otter! Oh! It's Arthur, little Sycra.
That would have been adorable. Adorable!
Oh, I have to restart, you guys. BRB.
Ghost59 Abel says, "Get Feng Zhu. Feng Zhu is awesome." Well,
Never heard of him.
you get Feng Zhu and bring him here, and then I'll have him on. How about that?
Yeah.
How about
Cool.
that? How about a mission?
Scout him.
Yeah. Go to Singapore with your elite team of otters.
Wear
and
something sexy.
You gotta dress sexy. He likes them sexy girls, and capture him, and then bring him. We'll have him on.
Yeah, it'd be great. Just have to find him. I wonder what kind of Pokeball you'd need.
And then
I'm back.
then our stream's gonna be professional.
It'd be epic.
Hey, can I get a link?
Can you get a link to what?
YouTube chat.
Yep. Yeah. Let me find the YouTube chat and give you a link.
Sorry about
So
that.
yeah, if you guys are not aware, there is also a chat room, and that is not the video one. So if you're at the chat room and you don't know about the main page and you're thinking, how come everyone's just typing stuff and it's a black screen? That's because there's a video one. And if you're at the video one, you're like, where's all the questions being answered? It's in the chat room. What are you drawing, Sinix?
I don't know. It was like a naked dude or something.
Those are always healthy.
It's a healthy thing I need to get out of my system every day. It's a lot of naked guys.
In your system every day?
I gotta get them out of me.
Maybe just don't clench so hard.
Oh my god.
Man,
Venom.
what is this stream rated?
It's rated I for innuendo. Venom Testament says, please interview Keenan Lafferty. I tried to talk to Keenan Lafferty. I couldn't get a hold of him.
Ivory Waynes. Keenan Ivory Waynes is the only Keenan we need.
Yeah. None of that Marlin shit.
I like Damon.
Okay, Yellow Jello says, ask Sinix if he was part of Crimson Daggers.
Nope. Next question.
Artifacts 9, Sinix is mad famous and fabulous.
Fabulous. Yeah.
Michael J, what's the best way to learn to paint digitally? Okay, a real question, so real answer, hopefully. Who wants to take that one?
Oh. I don't know. You're probably gonna have to learn to draw digitally first. Much like real painting. You got. Well, I don't know. What's the big difference? It's mainly the same thing. It takes you a while to get used to the tools and the method of input for drawing digitally, painting digitally. But I don't know. I mean, once you get used to it, it's a lot more forgiving than like other kinds of painting. So in that sense, it's easier. You just focus on studying the little stuff. Paint a little sphere. That's probably the first thing you ever do, right?
Yeah, when I
If you
started,
can
I
paint a
was just
sphere with a
coloring.
gradient, you're good.
I was just coloring, and I slowly moved from drawings with color to painting.
That's actually
Pretty
true.
natural progression.
Yeah, do some line art. Try coloring it with your digital stuff.
Yeah,
And then eventually you can try doing more painterly stuff.
I used a mouse. I used a mouse
Yeah.
for like 4 years, and then I got my little 4x6 Wacom bamboo, and I was like, yeah! And then I had to wash my underwear, and then I got a Intuos.
There's a really big compliment here for Sinix.
Oh, what is it?
The way Sinix draws and his style kind of reminds me of Kim Young-ji. So that's a big compliment right there.
That guy is great. I really didn't even know about him until like a year ago, and then all of a sudden
started getting big internationally. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he just kind of dropped like real hard onto the face of the art world like a year ago, and now it's like everyone loves him, and he's great. I love him. I don't know. How long ago did you guys know about him?
I knew about him 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's just me. I'm just late to the party.
No, I was about the same, 1 year.
You're on the same.
Okay.
You're...
Caleb, voice sign Addis asks, is it okay to start on the Bridgman method without a firm foundation in figure drawing? I
don't know. Someone else could tackle that because I've never used the Bridgman method or any of the methods
I
actually.
Bridgman for a while, but I don't. It's really tough because everyone is different, and there's really you'll find people who are. Some people are like Bern Hogarth guys, and they just learn the most from him. And then other people are like, I don't like him. His forms are too rounded, and all the muscles are flexed at all times. It's not realistic. And then there's structural people who are like, I like Bridgman because it feels solid and my figures are more solid. And other people like more flowy techniques. So I think you have to find the one that works for you. But you don't have, I don't know if you have to have a firm foundation, because I know plenty of people who actually never went to figure drawing, like life drawing, physical things, and they just learned from observation of maybe people outside or looking at photos and things, which isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It works fine.
Yeah.
It's completely different though. So I started without ever doing life drawing at all, and I was pretty good at drawing people, and then I went to do life drawing and I couldn't draw like at all. So it's like a completely different kind of skill set you got to learn. Gotta adapt to that.
What does APPA, A-P-P-A mean? Anyway, Dramain says, APPA, Sycra and everyone else, when you were learning how to draw, was building your visual library one of the harder things to get? Well, that's the thing you get before. That's when you just
Everyone
watch
has
stuff,
it.
right?
Yeah.
I think the visual library for me is something I didn't notice until after the fact. It's like, well, I watch anime, or I watch comics, or I look at comics, or I look at art, or I look outside, and you're always building it just by looking at things and paying attention.
Yeah, that's not something that's exclusive to being an artist. Every single person has a visual library. It's something they build every day. It's not. We just apply the visual library, but it's not like you're actively like start building it as soon as you start drawing. You can get better at building it because you're probably looking at more artists, and looking at artists' work will help you build it a lot more because you can understand the things that they're building it from.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I boring you?
Oscarson says, how did you guys learn to use color in your paintings? I really try to figure color out, and every time I discover some sort of rule, I find amazing artists who breaks them, and it still looks awesome. Siege, you want to take this one, Siege?
Yeah.
No. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah, color, value. Value. Just learn your values, and then you can apply color.
Don't cheat. Don't steal. Don't kill.
Those as well. Don't do any of those things, and then you'll be amazing at color. No, yeah, you got to learn your value. You need to understand your darks and your lights, and then from there, then you understand how color works, because you can really use any color in any area as long as the value is correct in that area. That's why you see some people just throwing down a billion colors in one spot and it looks right. It's because the values are correct, because the areas read as like whatever they're supposed to read as. So yeah. So anybody who doesn't know value, it's just like the black and like kind of like black and white and grays. And yeah, and that relates directly to color. So like say if you were to throw down like like something like a shade like this. I don't know if you guys are seeing my screen, but yeah, you throw down this, right? It's like actually hold on, let's see. I don't even know how to show this. It's like if I throw down this, right, and then I make it black and white somehow. Let's see. Why is it not working?
No, make a new layer and color.
Say what?
Make a new layer and fill it with pure black.
Okay, let's do that.
Set it to
And then
color
set it to color mode.
Full black.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're doing. You can do it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Set your mode to color mode. Like you did it right. You did it right.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, basically you make everything grayscale, and you can read and see the differences between the value on it, because everything has a different value. So look, so I did this this blue, right? And it's not working right now. Hold on. And then if I were to switch the hue, I throw it down. You throw it on top. No, it's a little bit different. But yeah. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so if you change the hue, the color will end up being the same. At least usually. The color will end up being the same. So you can end up putting different colors that are drastically different in the same spot. Because if you look at these two colors beside each other, they don't look like they would work, but they do because your eye reads them as the value. So there you go. That's my really garbage description as to what to do.
Yeah, so I guess you can do a lot more. That's why you were mentioning different artists break the rules. Well, rules are one of those things that definitely there are none. You can break them as much as you want, but there are things like, most artists do pay attention to their values, and that's why it can work.
Yes.
Everybody's saying there's a lot of echo, so I guess somebody doesn't have the headphones on or something.
Got my headphones on.
Okay.
Yeah, someone complaining about echo constantly.
Yeah, it's a lot of echo complaints right now.
I have my.
Testing.
Is it still really bad? Is it better?
I think I was hearing it too, but I don't hear it right now.
I don't hear it anymore. It's fine.
Yeah, it seems to be gone.
Dude, there's so many windows to look at.
I know.
Alright, okay.
Does anyone else want to take audience suggestions for what they want to draw? Do you want to draw something the audience says, Sinix?
Sure. I don't know
There's
about doing all that crazy
There's
stuff.
a guy asking, please show how to measure human proportions in perspective.
Oh no!
Anyone want to tackle that?
Human proportions in perspective?
That's like a really long. If I was to do that, that would be a really long video.
I'll do it real quick. Let's do it.
All right, Jetty Jet.
All right, so here's my channel. Here's my page. Welcome to the Jetty Jet Show. Today, we're gonna do a figure in perspective. So, a figure. Let's first of all look at it from the front. If you're looking at it from the front and down, halfway is the crotch area, right? So if you looked at that as a box, I can't do straight lines, but if you're looking at it as a box, you will notice it's halfway as a box. So if you draw that box in perspective, you would look at it like this. It's really, really abstract. Okay, so it's quick, dirty, quick and dirty, down and dirty. And then where's the halfway point? Oh, the halfway point. The halfway point. If you draw an X, you'll find the halfway point. See? Just like here. So if you know the relationship from the front, you'll know how to do it in perspective. So know your proportions, so I won't cover that. But if you knew your proportions, and you were to apply this kind of shape in perspective, what we have, just got to do this first, for example, right? It's important. It's important that you draw it this way first. All right. Now we're doing it in perspective. So we're going to draw the head. We're going to draw the torso. The torso is going to go slightly behind the circle because the head's blocking the upper body. And it stops right there because that's the midpoint. And then if we come down here to here, it starts looking like it's in perspective. And everything follows this kind of elliptical shape in this direction, giving this perspective look. You feel me? You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. And that's from perspective. I mean, and then like you have to look at things now in 3D. So the eyes are no longer flat on like this, unless they're looking at you, and that still works. And you can just cheat it. Every time you draw somebody in perspective, they're looking up. Just how you doing, right? But if you didn't want that, let's say they're looking at this direction. We got to draw these guidelines. All about them guidelines, and the same principle applies. Yes, that's what I meant to say. You got to do the X, and then that's the middle of the face. There's the middle of the face. What? And then the process just repeats itself. You see? You see? And if you wanted to just eyeball it, and just eyeballs. Yeah, draw the eyeballs just by eyeballing it. So quickly, based on that same principle, eyes. Oh, beautiful. Oh, oh, so the good one.
The good one.
All right. All right. So there you have it. My quick. How fast is that? Down and dirty. I mean, it's super rough, but as you can see, you can do so much with it as long as you understand this guideline principle. You divide things in half, and the face is a half, and you just treat it that way and learn things as shapes. Got it? Word? Good.
Okay.
Wow.
That was
Sorry,
very.
dude.
That was
Okay,
really good. That was
sorry, man.
really.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ricardo.
We have one here for you, Sycra. I got tips for caricature drawing.
Ooh.
Caricatures.
Caricatures.
Come
I
on.
think the biggest tip is to. I don't know. Like, make something big and something else small, and also pay attention to the character of the person. It sounds simple, and it's not. It's complicated, but I don't know. It's really hard to explain in detail. I've done a couple tutorials on. I did a long, detailed explanation in Pencil Kings on caricatures. So
Yeah, caricatures are quite difficult. I can't do it.
Isn't it like trying to capture the person's likeness and then just exaggerating their features?
yeah, pretty much. And it's things like you have to pull something and weaken something. For instance, if you, I know, I'll just show my own screen.
Yeah.
Woo! So
Let's see a
excited.
caricature.
I'm so excited right now. You guys don't even understand. I'm shaking my booties.
He's shaking his booties.
Okay.
I'm putting my stylus down so I can focus on this.
Am I on my own screen or wait?
I
No,
think
I'm still on. Okay, there we go.
no, it looks good.
All right. So you got your normal head that we learn. Like, this is why we learn generic proportions, by the way. It's so that we have a standard to deviate from, and you have the eyes somewhere around the middle, or it's in the middle, for generic, and then you have the nose and you have a mouth. Now, if you have a person that you're caricaturing, most likely they're not going to they're not going to be that different. But let's say I had someone who looked like this, right? And the eyes are here, and the nose is here, and the mouth is here. Now, if you compare this to this, you can see that in this one, this is pretty much equal, right? From the top of the head to the eyes, and who's playing guitar?
I'm sorry. I didn't think you could hear that. I'll stop.
Okay. So in this one, the eyes are lower, right? There's more space here than here. So in a caricature, you would really exaggerate that. So it's taking something that's already there and it's pushing it a lot. So like, and if this guy's eyes were like this, or well, okay, so in the middle, the eyes are roughly, you have one eye in between the two eyes, and maybe for this person, their eyes are like got more space between the two eyes, and it's not going to be that exaggerated. It's going to be a little bit, right? It's going to be a little exaggeration. Then what you want to do is push that. So then it's like, okay, let me put the eyes here and here. So this is an exaggeration of that. Make sense? And you just keep doing that and pay very close attention to the face, and that's where it gets really complicated. Is you have to pay attention to all the minute details, like, oh, this person's eyebrow goes a little up, or I don't know, you know, and then you exaggerate that thing that you see. All right.
Brilliant.
Wow, that gorilla's awesome. You're so fast. Can that bastard over there asks, can someone... That's his name, that's not me later on. Chat people, that's his username. Can someone draw Bob Meatbag's mom? I could, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-guitar, Lewis. It's just weird when there's a guitar in your head. The Germ 001. Draw Viktor Yanukovych making love to Vladimir Putin.
What's up with these ideas? Who are these? This has to be Jess' audience.
Oh, you know what? Why don't can somebody save that prompt? It's got me curious.
Which one? The Yanukovych Putin one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Making love, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna do all political stuff now?
I don't know. It's just like it got me curious.
Oh snap, son.
Oh, that was All Lucky 7 who asked that. I like All Lucky 7's name. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of requests for what people asking you to draw stuff, but I'll let you finish here. That gorilla is so good.
Thanks.
That's amazing.
All right.
I'm like flipping between screens.
I'm trying to find. Do you see any questions, Ricardo?
Yeah. I thought you were still doing the.
No.
Okay.
I'm looking.
I have a question about animation. Is animation more tedious and technical than creative and expressive? I've been trying to choose between studying animation or illustration. Thanks. It's for you.
It's for you, Sinix. Because here's the thing. If you go to an animation school, it is very technical. But the way Sinix described animation was not technical at all. So it really depends, I guess.
I'm not a professional animator. It's not like I'm gonna get hired to do that stuff.
Yeah, because with Sinix, he seems to do it more like just see if it works, and if it works, do it. I guess is that the way you do it, or how do you handle animation?
There's oh man, it's It's really just like frame by frame, just make stuff up as you go along. There's not much thought to it. It's like this would be cool if it happened next.
Right.
And it's just like loose drawings, and I don't know. Sometimes I used to do animation, like little animations, not for the sake of making the animations, but just because I thought they were good ways to study gestures, because you get a lot of the in-between gestures that kind of you wouldn't normally think of when you're just drawing gestures. But it's like when you got to go from point A to point B, then you got all those gestures in between. So it's just a fun way to practice different things like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I noticed Sinix, and I saw your recent video on how to draw butts, which
butts.
it's a really good video. If you guys haven't seen Sinix's how to draw butts video, I'd recommend it.
I really like butts.
And I saw in the comments someone said something like you need more badonkadonk in your butts, and I think you've done it in this picture.
Oh, I thought we were drawing someone's mom. I don't.
Oh, that's Bob Meatbag's mom.
Wow. Damn.
I
I think we all have a new appreciation for your mom, Bob.
How do you do, Bob? How do you do, Bob?
Hold on.
How do you do?
No, it's got it. Bob, clean your room. There.
I have to use the computer. What?
Someone is asking when did we all start drawing? If we were very young when we started. Kamikaze 189.
Nope. Well, at least for me, I wasn't young. I was too old.
Yeah.
I was mad aged.
Navy Blue Manga says shout out from Sheridan Animation.
Oh damn. That's my city, yo. I was there yesterday, uploading a video and stealing the internet at the school. It's fantastic. The videos upload in like 2 seconds, not even joking, at the school. But then security comes and then they try to kick you out and stuff. They're like, hey, do you have your ID? I'm like, oh, I forgot my wallet. So, yeah, I have to keep lying and stealing the internet. It's too fast.
You have no values, man.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Yes. Hello. I wonder if I know this person.
Navy Blue Manga?
Yeah, I wonder.
Just
hit me up after. Hit me up after. We'll talk. Because I literally live like 2 minutes away from Sheridan.
Cool.
That's scary.
You're opening yourself up to all sorts of people.
I am. But you kind of know what you're gonna get from I don't know. Like in this area, you kind of know what you're gonna get. City's too damn safe.
Oh, Toronto, yeah.
Well, no, it's Oakville. That's where Sheridan is.
Oakville.
Yeah, it's a very safe city. Well, it used to be safe, and then it got kind of weird for a while. But now it seems to be better again. Got kind of dangerous.
I think Bob Meatbag would be really good for those things where it's like, you know, because you don't have to be afraid that some creepy stalker guy's gonna find you because you're more creepy.
Oh, you thought you were creepy, huh? Oh, come into my dungeon. Come into my dungeon.
I'll reverse stalk you. You find their address when they're looking for yours.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
they just look up in the mirror one day and I'm just there. It's like, hey.
How you doing? I found you.
You doing anything special tonight?
You left your glove on my lawn.
Yeah. Better clear out your schedule. You're gonna be busy tonight.
You didn't have plans for the next 15 years, did you?
I hope your family won't miss you.
Oh no.
Larry Smith wants to hang out with Siege. Are you open to people just visiting you? Toronto's it's a pretty big place. There's a lot of...
Yo, alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit up Chinatown because everything is cheap in Chinatown and the food is amazing. We're going to go to the market. It's going to be fantastic. And then we're going to do like subway sketching and it's going to be fantastic. So let's make it happen. It's going to be a day. Everybody, clear your schedules. We're doing it. And I'm forcing Jet to come too. He's so happy
So-
we need him on the subway.
What are you doing, Costa? I see you adding texture on the skin. How are you doing that?
Being meticulous. Being very, very meticulous.
Are you doing it dot by dot?
Right now I am.
Wow.
I already laid in an under texture where it's patterned out, so I'm just trying to break it up.
It's crazy, son. That's dedication. That's love, guys. That's love. Siege is drawing inside. I saw the question from Bruno. Yeah.
That's awesome. That reminds me of Kenshin, but is it it's a dude, right?
I have no idea. We'll find out soon.
So organic.
Is he an amputee?
Hold on.
He doesn't need arms though. Look at that. Like he can use his hair to pick stuff up.
That's very true. Okay. I'll make it into just like I need bobmeatbag's like skill at just drawing anything off the top of my head.
No.
Because if I was that good at just like laying down lines and just making it happen, then I'd be like, yeah, I'll just do whatever I want. But I'm not that skilled. I'm not that skilled.
No, I have.
Or if I was Sinix.
What did I do?
You just troll with your art skill. You can't even deny it. Forget humbleness.
Sinix is not modest.
No.
What? Why you gotta blow me up?
Oh man.
Someone's asking. Someone wants to see your animation, Sinix. Is there anywhere they can check it out? Do you have any animation?
No.
You have it on DeviantArt, don't you?
Yeah,
What do I have on there?
you have some sprites on DA.
And they're like jumping
Yesterday.
up and down.
Yeah. It's not much animation, but yeah,
Come on,
sure.
son. Come on, son.
Hey, Sinix, I had a question for you.
Okay.
How come you're so nice in your channel and then you're not that way in real life?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a sweetheart to everyone.
Okay.
Cannot confirm nor deny that.
To Robot Show, what is something that's really difficult for each of you to do still? Like, shotgun to the balls, frustratingly difficult. Ouch.
Well, I don't get that frustrated to begin with, but I know that I have trouble with feet, like always.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Everything.
I find that...
It's everything.
At some point, for me anyway, it stopped being... Like, everything that was hard was not hard because it was hard because I wasn't interested in it. Like, I just didn't feel like I wanted to put in the time to learn how to do anything. But I really learned early on, or someone told me early on, that the two hardest things to draw are faces or heads and hands. So I wanted to get good at those, and I thought, well, if I can get good at the hardest things, then everything else should be easier. But then I saw mecha, and I'm like, I don't know.
But then I saw mech. What the hell?
Can I make a small request, like kind of piggybacking on that specifically?
Okay.
Can we get a mini tutorial from Siege on figure painting with... Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
You just started writing out, no.
Oh, I was writing that before you started your sentence.
Okay.
I was just going to erase this because I don't care. But that's all.
Can we get a... Well, I'd at least like to see a mini tutorial on figure drawing in a painterly fashion versus a drawing fashion. I've been dying to see something like that. I don't know. I feel like it might be a little bit better.
I'm on the spot now. I don't know what to do. I don't know.
You don't have to.
It's just working in shape. Like you work in shape to figure out form. all really that there is to it. So I guess I don't know. Let's draw something. I guess. Hold on, 1 second. Alright, so
tell Sinix I love him and he's bird.
He's
Someone
bird?
loves you. Yeah, I'm just reading.
Your bird is the word. I like that. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna just paint some stuff. I'm gonna paint a face because that's the quickest thing I can do. I don't know. Oh wait, hold on. I'm showing you guys wrong. Yeah, start with big brush strokes. That's always the positive thing to do. Always positive. That's what I found, at least, when it comes to painting. If you work small and you go into details right at the beginning, well, then you're just kind of asking for heartache later. So don't do it. Yeah. Also, don't work on a layer that's at a 67% opacity and then wonder why the values aren't working properly, because that's stupid. So, alright, so let's see. Yeah, so you just kind of get down the forms with big shapes, and then you're confused as to what you see here.
Are those boobies?
They could be boobies, but not today.
Oh.
I know, I'm sorry. Alright, so here we go. So let's go in with these, with whatever these are supposed to be. Okay, we'll put these in there and these in there. But yeah, it's all about big shapes and then refining. Like, that's really the most important aspect, at least for me. That's what I find to be really important when I work. I make big shapes, and then I refine them down to smaller shapes so that they make sense. But if I start in small shapes and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna get these details in, baby, this is gonna be fantastic, baby girl, you know, and then I end up with this garbage picture in the bottom corner of my painting, and then when you zoom out, you look at it, you're like, oh, this is horrible, and I just spent like 12 hours on it, and then you feel really bad, you start regretting things, you start contemplating on like past decisions in your life and everything. It's just really bad and kind of messy. You don't need to get into that. So yeah, so big shapes stop you from having like breakdowns later on in your life. So remember that, guys. That's important. But yeah, like it's literally just large shapes and then refining. And it helps also because you're working in bigger shapes. You're able to measure forms better. Because you know, if you watch like Sycra's channel, you'll see that he always talks about like, you know, you measure this by looking at that. You look at this and whatever. If you have a bigger shape, you have two big shapes beside each other. It's way easier to measure those big shapes and the distance and the height and the size compared to measuring a line, because it's just a larger mass, right? So you're able to.
What about finding the gesture, which I ran into a lot of problems with when I was asking Sycra and Jeff about it. I was running into a lot of problems with the gesture.
The gesture? Well,
yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing as with line for that, because like you're literally throwing down big shapes, but just like loose, right? Like it's just it's a thing that I learned, and it's called stroke conservation, and it's where you try to get the form down in the least amount of strokes. There's also line conservation, which we all know about, which is like if you watch Sinix's work, you'll see that he does that all the time, where he doesn't throw down 15,000 lines. He just tries to get it with like one solid line, because it reads well and it shows confidence. So yeah, it's the same thing. So it's just like, okay, I'm gonna draw like a character. So it's just like, okay, here's the head, you know, there's like the shoulder area. Here's like the body, kind of going like that, and then like the legs. So there's like one, and then another one, and then bam, bam. But it's like it's all just a big shape, right? And then from there you can refine it, and then also like, you know, you don't even have to go all in, right? So it's just like, okay, I want to get like under the chest area, so it's like I'd hit it with a bit darker of a value, like under the chest. Or under here, right, to show like the angle of it, so it's like light's hitting from up here. So I guess you do have to think about a few more things when you're working like this, because you have to know your values or your color, and you need to know a little bit about lighting. But yeah, I mean, it all kind of builds up together, because painting is a different thing from line drawing. So, you know, but yeah, it really depends on you and the way that you learn best and what you want to start with, because you know, because for a lot of people always say, you know, you should learn how to draw first, like draw with line, blah, 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 blah. I'm totally backwards. I learned how to paint first, and then I learned how to draw because I understood forms.
Yeah,
so,
I'm the same way. I'd rather work with shapes first and then try to use that understanding to translate it into line. Because line doesn't make me comfortable at all. But these big shapes.
Things are playing out.
But yeah, so anyways, that's all from me.
Siege, there's another question for you.
Oh,
how did you get the idea of using fractals in your art?
Ooh, I decided that I realized I was trying too hard to make my digital work traditional. I was always trying to do that, and so I wanted to see what I was trying to see what was further, and also I was already kind of interested in fractals. I just didn't know that they were fractals. I'm just talking about in real life, right? Because fractals are life's geometry, right? And I always would just kind of get obsessed and look at little nooks and crannies and shapes in the wall and stuff like that, and I didn't know that there was a name for it. And then eventually I found out, oh, it's a fractal. That's what they are. And then my friend told me about some of the fractal programs. So I tried them out, and I realized, wow, this is beautiful. Also, I've already, because of the whole working with shape thing, I had an attraction to abstract forms. And so fractals were pretty much perfect for that, because it's kind of it's abstract, but it's not abstract. So yeah, it was a good mix, and then I just started mixing it into my work once I got rid of the guilt of of feeling oh, this doesn't look like oil. Once I got past that, I'm just oh, I can just do fractals, because digital's digital. It's its own medium. I don't need to pretend that that's oil or watercolor or anything like that. Just treat it as it is. So yeah, that's what happened with me. Thank you.
Okay.
I feel like I hijacked this. Sorry,
I
guys.
had a question for CT.
I love CT.
How come you use GIMP?
How come?
Why do you use GIMP as a painting software?
I would like to know why that's even a question.
I'm just thinking of what other people's questions would be, and then I'm asking.
Okay. Well, GIMP. You just weigh out the pros and cons, I guess, with all the programs that are out there. GIMP is free, which is a huge pro.
That's a pro.
And for someone, for someone who has a wallet that's not so full, GIMP was the fact that it was like Photoshop in the first place and free, completely, was just calling out to me. So I started off with GIMP, learning it and just spending time with it, and now it's just my preference, because I just know how to use it well, I guess. It suits me, because I was shaped using the program. So if I could learn to use Photoshop or Psy, which is something that I do want to do, but just for right now, because I know how to use GIMP, that's what I'm sticking with.
There's something to be learned from that too. It's not always the program, that it's you still gotta get good.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question. I wanted that answer.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a, what's it called? A leading question?
Yeah.
A loaded
A loaded question. A leading lady. No. Okay.
No, the thing that lawyers do, they always ask questions they know answers to.
It's not a loaded question.
Oh. Okay.
Do you guys have any thoughts? Someone's asking, what's the best way to do line art? Should it be black? I don't know what that would be. Well, does anyone want to tackle that? Line art? How do you guys feel about line art?
Should it be black? Why?
That's personal.
That's
personal taste.
Personal, yeah.
That's
How can I get my lines straight? I don't know. Practice drawing with your shoulder and your arm. You gotta practice, though.
You know what? Yeah. Make 2 dots on a piece of paper and then try to connect them.
Yeah.
Connect. Sorry. It happened.
Okay. Someone's saying you guys should bring Will Terrell on one of these live streams. He has been on one of these live streams, guys.
Come on, guys.
Who is that person? Kick him out right now.
Philip Mondieu? I don't know.
It's all good, Philip. We love you. Still love you.
No, he's on my blacklist. You're done.
Okay, I still love you. Siege's got love for you.
Refresh this.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't see more. I'm going back a little.
Yeah.
Questions? Are we beatboxing now?
Oh, sorry. My bad.
I wasn't judging.
Thanks, man. Thank you. So I heard we had a question. What's going on?
No, we're looking for questions. It's like
Yeah, it's
It's just
now.
to see you, right? Oh,
Yeah.
the chat. Oh, yeah, the chat does this thing, guys, where it just stops
Yeah.
loading and then it loads everything at
That
the same
loads,
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes we'll miss questions because they come in that rush. So just, yeah.
If I see a
How,
question, should I ask it?
Don't
Yeah,
hit Ricardo.
yeah. Are you
Okay.
are you also looking at the chat?
Yeah, I am.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, definitely ask it. So then we have 3 people. Cool.
How long do you guys draw traditional? How long? No, how often? Traditional.
For me, every day.
When I feel like it, not that often.
When I
Yeah, I
research
should
it.
be doing every day. I guess.
You know, not really. I think it's just preference. You don't.
Preference, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think it matters. I think it gives you discipline and it keeps you sharp.
Yeah.
That's,
agree with
but it's
that.
still, it's personal. It's very personal still. Like, yeah, because I had lots of discipline, and
Yeah.
I didn't do traditional until like earlier last year. Like, no, late last year. I wasn't even drawing on paper, so you know.
Yeah.
I don't even think
guess,
Sinix
yeah.
knows what paper is.
I guess
I went all last year and like probably like a few years in a row without ever drawing any traditional stuff. And I've been doing it just recently just to get back into life drawing and stuff. But yeah, I just do I open up a blank page in Painter and just do sketches. That's my sketchbook.
My sketchbook is on the internet, the World Wide Web, the place where dreams are made and trolls are born. Mostly trolls are born.
Is Bob sharing his screen? Because I can't see it.
Yeah, he is.
Is okay.
It's working for me.
Oh, I was muted the whole time.
Hey,
Oh,
Yeah.
Were you talking, Jet? I was wondering,
Yeah.
like, where's
yeah.
Jet?
I was
That's
making
what I
all
was
kinds of. I was making all kinds of jokes, man.
Ah,
It's like,
damn.
Okay,
Hey,
we got a new question. Oh,
You guys are ignoring me. Just kidding.
we have a new question.
Yeah.
What is a good way to stay focused on a piece?
On a piece or on peace, like the opposite of war?
No, on on a piece of artwork.
Is that a problem?
Well,
stay
it is
focused.
for this fella. So
I don't know. Like
How to
if,
stay
if you're having
focused.
trouble staying focused, maybe just go away from it.
Yeah.
I take breaks.
Take breaks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breaks are important.
yeah.
You'll come back seeing all kinds of things you didn't see before.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Yeah.
magic and rainbows and.
It's actually a really good idea
No,
to.
he's talking about like
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
flaws.
Balls?
No, I was gonna say you can see flaws like if you take a break.
Flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
go
you
away
Also,
and
they
come
take
back.
breaks.
Yeah. No, but I think whenever you feel tired, quit. Like, just not quit, but get up and leave and do something else because, if you don't, you'll make your picture worse. I find whenever I'm like in that, I'm starting to lose energy, I'm killing my painting and just making it worse.
Yeah.
And I can spend hours at that point just ruining a perfectly good painting. And then if I take a break and I come back, it's like, wait, what have I done? I've ruined everything.
Yeah, you don't.
Sounds so
It's not just
sad.
a matter of seeing flaws. Like you do create flaws. Like you'll find yourself getting tired of it, so you'll be changing things that don't need changing. Like I find myself doing that every time I do something too long. I'll start color correcting and just changing the colors of everything. And it doesn't make it better, but like at the time, I'm just so tired of seeing it one way that I like seeing it another way. And then I'll go back later on and be like, why did I change that? It was natural before. Now it's just weird.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go destroy my lungs. By the way, that freaking red I found is amazing. It's not even really a red. I just love this color.
Oh yeah, I totally used it on that thing I did yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, that's the same red I used for my pee, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yours was.
Yeah, I think yours was orange.
Yeah.
No, it was red, guys.
No,
Oh,
I've seen your pee. It's definitely orange.
Comments are flying
My
now.
pee is not orange. Cynic, stop spreading rumors.
Okay, let's see what's being asked. Next question.
Go ahead. Ask the question. What's the question?
Looking.
What's the
Still
story?
looking.
Wishbone.
Alright.
That's right. I broke it down.
Roxanne says, "Hey guys, do you have any story?"
I was waiting for it.
You don't have
Oh,
I wonder how many times this person's heard that and it's just so angry now.
You gotta deal with that.
Just every day.
You're gonna hear it and you're gonna like it.
Every day.
Oh my god. Okay, Roxanne says, "Hey guys, do you have any story about an opportunity in a job or anything related to your art? Something funny?"
Ooh. No.
Any stories? You have
funny stories about job.
boring lives?
Huh. I'm trying to think of one.
Who has jobs these days, right, Sinix?
I've never worked a day in my life.
I don't know. I don't like it's not even a funny story. It's just really sad. And I got ripped off. I'm just like, yeah, this guy ripped me off, and it was hilarious.
I feel like most
So
of us
funny.
have sad or disappointing stories.
Yeah.
Not like, oh yeah, this one time I had to draw a booby and it was funny.
Yeah. It's and then he stole my artwork and he ran away with it, and I laughed so hard. I was laughing straight to the bank with this. No? Alright.
I got you.
Alright, yeah.
I'm down.
Should I do still life painting digitally? Does it help?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good because the thing is, it's harder to maintain color harmony. That's much easier with traditional, but it does force you to learn quickly. I did still life digital painting, and it's hard.
I wanted to do it. I never got a chance to because I didn't have a laptop. I was so desperate. I almost wanted to bring my PC into the place and just try to set it up, but they wouldn't let me. Damn them. They held me back from my full potential.
Oh, there's a question for you, Siege, by Larry Smith. Do you think it takes away from quantity working on more than one piece at one time?
Oh,
takes away from what? From quantity?
Yeah.
Or quality.
Quality?
I guess they mean quality, working on more than one piece at a time. It's for you because it's got one piece in it.
Bravo.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Where's that laugh track?
Yeah. No, I don't think so at all. Because you can put in just as much time into each one of those pieces. Also, I mean, I find for me personally, there's these two things, and I learned this from fine artists. And there's the thing, it's called onesies, and the fine artist people that I was talking to, they're like, don't do onesies, do series. And so I found like when you do like just one thing and you get like obsessed with it, sometimes you stop seeing the mistakes like what we were saying earlier, right? So it's just like you just kind of get obsessed with it. You can't see anything outside of it. But if you're working on other things, it's kind of like taking a step back because you're taking a bit of a break from it. So you're able to see other mistakes and whatnot. And then also I found, wow, that was loud. I found personally that like whenever I'm working on multiple pieces at the same time, I end up getting one that's just incredibly strong, and then I'm able to kind of pull the other ones up to that level, and I usually end up doing something like a lot better than I expected I could do. And then I never do that again, and then I wonder why I don't have that same success. So it's actually stupid. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I'm done with this question.
I'm right there with the taking breaks and then coming back and then looking at it because I just saw so much wrong with this. It's not even fun.
It is kind of funny.
I mean, we were all kind of joking about it while you were gone, but
Why? Why would you do that to me? Now I'm going to like dwell on what you could have been saying until this thing is live.
That'll be fun. Okay. Next question.
next question.
Hokage level Elena says, Sycra, can you draw legs anatomy back and forward and how they connect to the torso, please? I'll do it sometime. I will. I'll do
What?
it.
You mean like butts?
Butts?
Oh, but
Somebody said
Sinix,
butts?
you have a video on butts. Does
Oh,
it cover that? Does it cover how legs join to the butt? I don't think it does.
Isn't that what a butt is?
Yeah. That's what it's a.
Well, my butt is a lot different from that, so I mean.
My butt is bigger than yours.
Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, that's it. That's it. It's battle time. Pull them down.
Do guys care about their butts now? What? I thought it was
Man.
girls that care about their butts.
Girls care about guys' butts. You gotta pay attention to that.
But I thought flat butts were good.
No.
Whoa.
No.
Pancakes are only good when you're eating them.
For a guy?
I love some pancakes.
Yeah, for a guy too.
I had some
For a guy,
pancakes
yeah.
today.
So guys need big butts now, and girls need big butts now?
Everyone needs a big old butt.
Everybody needs, yeah, just.
Man, I'm so
Where
old.
has
I've
this
seen the
conversation
training
gone?
game so many times.
This conversation is exactly where it needs to be. Everything happening now is correct. That's what I.
Raccoon Deviant
So
says,
all the talk
Ricardo.
about art.
Yeah,
Oops, my
Raccoon
bad, sorry.
Deviant says, Ricardo, your artwork is so amazing. You should start your comic.
Yes, Ricardo.
Ooh.
Wow, that's for sure.
I love Ricardo personally.
I
Just
kind of
like you guys.
have a follow-up to that.
I love you too, Siege.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a lot of like
What
big
is
projects
love?
that you've thought about, like comics and things?
Yeah.
Do you guys have all those like
Yeah.
back burner of like,
Oh, yeah.
someday?
Of course.
someday
Yeah,
art
of course.
All
I
of
think
us,
you
man.
should have those. I
Yeah.
think it's healthy
I
if
got
you
a lot
have
of
those.
Yes. Really.
I'm not getting the comments though. I can't see that comment. It's just red.
It'll
really
come.
laggy.
It'll come.
Oh, it's coming right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get your face ready, Sinix. Epic.
God damn. It took me a while, but then I figured out what you were talking about.
Oh, the innuendo, no.
Damn, it's so much right now.
Epic Entertainment asks, do you guys think the line art process in a digital piece is necessary?
Preference, preference,
Nothing's
preference.
Things really
Yeah,
are
what do you, it
necessary.
depends on what you're going for.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
different. You gotta find... I mean, so much of the beginning phase in art, I feel, is to find out what you like and what you don't like, what type of person you are. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say this,
Well-
like even if you're not going to see any of the line art in the end, I like to make some line art like personally because I feel like you can capture all the energy that you want to. Like if you're just going painting, like I don't know, I feel like you lose
Well,
it
then-
sometimes. But I like to see that energy that could be in the painting, like with the line art first, and then even though it's going to be gone, I just like to have that idea so I can try to capture it when I actually do paint.
Sam Pokemon.
You really feel
Their
like it's
lines.
necessary?
No,
No.
it's a matter of just what you want to do.
Necessary.
Yeah, it's what you want to see and what you want to do from your work. Yeah.
I
So
would-
that's
I would
like
say
that's Sinix's perspective on it, and that's like how he views it. And everybody's gonna have something different for that though. Like everybody's answer is gonna be totally different. No two people. Well, some two people are gonna be alike, but like you know, you might not be the same. So it's like you gotta kind of exactly what Sycra said. You kind of gotta learn what you like as you go along. Yeah.
Here comes the comment.
Yellow Jello wants me to ask you, Sinix, if you're inspired by Koji Morimoto.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who it is either.
Wouldn't that be a no
Please.
then?
I guess. Well, you never know. I mean, maybe it's something I've seen and I just don't know the name because I'm terrible with like. There's so much stuff on the internet these days where you see art and you don't know who made it. So you never know.
What, Jet? What is it? What's up, man?
Oh, what's up, dude?
Was that you?
Nah,
Oh, Siege.
That was
Oh,
me,
Siege.
because I just pulled up some Koji Morimoto, and we can see it all on my screen.
Oh, okay. I'll check. Let's see.
This stuff
Koji
is...
what?
That's
Koji who?
nice.
And I can't
This is Koji
see
Morimoto.
anything.
No, but you said it a different way last time.
Yeah, so...
I like that way.
Koji Morimoto.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh wow.
Morimoto.
We got some awesome stuff. My buddy has the art book, one of his art books, which is really, really, really good.
Oh wait. So okay, it says he's a filmmaker then.
You're a filmmaker.
No, I'm just trying to figure out who the guy is.
Mom goes to college.
I see this stuff from like what is that? The Studio 4C stuff from Animatrix.
He's an animation director. He's one of Japan's premier anime directors, right? All right. There we go.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
graduated
Well,
from
I see the words
Osaka.
founded Studio 4C, so yes, I'd like.
Yeah, there's
like
that
everything
too.
he's involved with then.
Yeah, Studio 4C has my favorite animation in the world. My favorite, Kung Fu Love, and it's a short.
Yeah, you see those little clips though, like from the Animatrix. The thing they did for them was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think I need a new prompt.
Oh, you're done?
Oh, let's
Zoom
see.
in,
Hold
zoom
on.
in a bit. Do a full screen.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh my
Nice.
god. Man, will you stop with all this skill? Jeez. I'm getting offended.
What
Look
is
at
in
that,
his
he's got,
hand?
like
Like
a
a
composition,
root?
everything.
Is it a root fork?
Yep. It's basically a fork made of. I think I originally intended it for it to be a rock. That's
How are you
shaped like a
supposed to be
root.
protecting them? It looks like he's about to have some otter soup.
Well, he's taking care of them, so they're ripe. You know.
Oh, that is how your mind works.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
Why do people care for things? Because they want to one day harvest them.
Yeah, I mean, like he's being practical. Like he's in the desert.
I
He's
love
got
my kids.
to eat.
It's like a one day harvest them.
Well, I mean, come on. He keeps them happy until the time comes, you know. So they're blissfully.
I like your composition.
I don't see how it's honestly. I don't see how it's different from a farmer and his like livestock.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. That is how a farmer is. They're like, I love you, Mr. Chicken. And then later on at dinner, they're like, I love you, Mr. Chicken. So it's yeah.
There we go.
That's how you say it. I guess.
Yep.
Chickens are on farms. Oh, sorry. Anyways.
All right. So next prompt, please.
Okay, I will search. I will search for one. There was plenty. In the meanwhile, if you guys find questions, you can ask them.
Putin one.
You know, somebody requested a prompt on your
Somebody asked
page for
me a
Jeff,
question.
specifically on your Facebook Sycra.
That
person wasn't going to make it, and they really wanted to see something.
What is it? What was it then?
I will tell you right now.
Larry Smith is asking for a gang of unicorns mugging a leprechaun.
Wow. Why they gotta be mugging the leprechaun?
Yeah, it's also
Leprechauns.
That's my heritage.
Yeah. All right. Make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen.
Unicorn mugging a leprechaun.
A gang of unicorns mugging a leprechaun.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. Unicorn life. That's how it is in these streets.
That's we worked at Unicorn Magic.
Can the unicorns be black? That's my last request.
Okay.
Make them like different colored.
Sycra, it was by this guy named Lich McNee. Hey Sycra, huge request. I probably won't be able to be on the stream 2 a.m. So please tell Jeff that I asked for a picture of a ham breaking out of a sandwich stomach while cheese is trying to pull it back inside. With a smiley face.
That is so like I can't even get that in my head. I don't. It's like my brain exploded.
I'm just doing it out of respect for the guy. It's up to you guys.
It's not that. He's just saying like it's complex.
When you were saying it, it just like broke my brain. I didn't get it.
Okay, all right, here. There you go.
Huge
I think CT. Oh no, you're still here.
Yeah, I still don't get it.
So please tell chat that we're hamburger.
All I hear is just people like mumbling. And in my head, I heard, "Don't drop that something." Hey, don't drop. I don't know why. It just happened.
You get it? If you get it, do it.
Don't drop it.
I can't do anything.
Somebody say, I read Siege as a One Piece character, and then the chat just loaded.
I can answer this window.
Oh, I'm lost.
Somebody.
So I guess you're going with the unicorn one then?
Yep, that's what I'm searching reference for right now.
Okay.
Reference?
Yeah, he always uses reference, Siege. You don't know that?
Of course I knew that. I just wanted to say it out so everybody else could learn about it. Because it's important for you guys to know that reference is a good thing. It's not bad. Professionals use it all the time. Oh yeah.
Unless you're Kim
Siege, it's after the end of the world. Don't you know that yet?
Anyone that
You know, it's like
yeah.
Who thinks references are bad?
Yeah, I don't respect those people that use reference.
Really, Sinix?
No, not really. Maybe a little bit.
Oh,
there's two kinds of references. So there's the physical reference, and then there's the mental reference. So if you're drawing from what's in your head, then that's a mental. You have mental references that you're using.
So in the end, you're always cheating.
Yeah, you're always using it. That's true in a way.
So Sinix is always cheating in his work. Always.
Always just copying.
Just copying everything. I can't trust you anymore.
When could you trust Sinix?
That's true. That moment hasn't come yet. Maybe one day. Probably not.
No. Don't make the mistake. I was complaining about back pain. I went to the doctor. He's like, "There's a knife in there."
Oh, we need the sound effects.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's really good. Because he stabs you in the back. Because he betrayed you.
Oh my god.
Because
Sycra is still mad I make him look fat every time I draw him.
I lost a lot of weight, Sinix.
Not enough.
You would do that to an anorexic person. You would just like draw them really fat and then give them the portrait like, I drew you.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I admire those people like at Disneyland and everything that just draw caricatures and draw people all day.
Yeah, that's gotta be kind of creepy. Because like you draw somebody like that and then like if they get mad, what are you gonna do? You start dodging punches?
That's stressful. Like, man.
Yeah.
It is stressful.
It is.
Although on one hand, I also think
I found a question. I found a question. It said, if you had the ability to steal any artist's skill, who would you steal, or whose skill would you steal, and why?
It's so easy.
That's so easy.
I would go into the future and then steal my future self skills.
Oh! Damn!
Oh,
snap!
You hear that, Costa?
Why do I need what?
I just felt like that would blow your mind more than all of ours.
Why would that blow? It doesn't blow my mind. I would steal Kim Jong-il's skill. So
yeah, me too.
Therefore, I could be like, look, Sycra, I'm there.
And then everybody would be like, oh,
just have a talk. Yeah, you don't.
And then you would feel really bad.
I didn't say I'd steal his personality. I'd steal his skill, and then I'd use it for my own selfish means.
I mean, if you stole his personality, it might be a little improvement. Maybe. I don't know.
Is it because he speaks Korean and we wouldn't understand him?
No. No, it's because he's got a really nice personality, it seems.
Oh, okay, alright.
T. Myers says Bob Meatbag has a sexy voice. Just saying.
Damn.
That's like the second or third person who said that, Bob.
Well, it's only 2 or 3 people, So, but thank you.
Come on, guys. What about my voice? Come on.
Come on.
It's a little bit sexy, right?
Come on.
All the ladies out there getting wet.
No, that's a sexy voice right there.
All right.
I think I'm screwing up on this piece. I think I botched it.
I think you're done. I think you're done.
I'm not done. You know me. I'm gonna do what every one of you hate, and I'm gonna render it out super fucking crazy.
Language.
Or super freaking.
Only innuendo is allowed.
There's a question here for Sinix.
There's a fire.
That's my name.
Yeah. My question to Sinix is: he said he was able to go to get to a good level by focusing and drawing in just 6 to 7 months. My question is: how does he go about studying, and how many hours do he devote into art in a day? This was the question.
You cursed yourself with that one. It's on
Can
you,
we skip
man.
the question?
You shouldn't have said it, man.
What?
You skipped the question.
Now you'll always be asked that.
Yeah, now you're gonna. Yeah.
Oh, here goes the advice.
Yeah, I'll say what I told you guys before. The thing about that is, like, I don't know. It's a matter. I think improving fast is a matter of just being completely in love with art. And I mean, like, it is your priority. And it's not a chore. It never became like a work thing. I didn't wake up every morning and go, okay, I got to set my little alarm and do my 2 hours of this, 2 hours of that. I was just drawing all day and doing all kinds of crazy stuff because it was the only way I wanted to spend my time. And if you have to, like, think about it like this chore that you're gonna do, like, it's not P90X. We're not doing like something. We're just like doing it all day because, like, this is just how we spend our time. It's all we think about. It's all you love. But so yeah, there's no like there's no regiment to it. But you will get, like, if you love it that much, you'll get better fast.
Okay, I have a question for Sinix. He said he was able to get good level by focusing and drawing in just 6 to 7 months. My question is, how does he go about studying, and how many hours did he...
Oh, you know, I will say this: it does relate back to P90X because you do want to go through like a lot of like muscle confusion, I guess you could say it, except in art terms. So it's like 1 week you're trying something completely different than what you were doing before. Maybe 1 week you're trying animation. Like, that's how it was for me. It's just like, hey, I want to try this, I want to try that, and it's just like constantly keeping you off balance and exploring new things. And anytime you go back to something else, it's like, I'm awesome at this now.
Yeah, but you mentioned something when we asked you the question, and you said you enjoyed the competitive nature of it as well.
Yeah, that's true. That just came from part of the love for it all. Like I loved looking at. I would spend, like, it's not just a matter of like spending time looking at my own stuff. I would spend at least a few hours every day just looking at people's art. You know, browsing forums, looking at, you know, blogs, things like that. Just looking at art.
Your visual memory, or your visual library.
And that's like it's so much fun. I still do that. And that's the thing, like, even though I sometimes go through periods where I'm not drawing, I still always love to look at the blogs, look at the things, look at art, because, like, I don't know, you do that for fun. I hope no one would ever consider, like, looking at awesome art to be, like a chore. Because it's so great. I mean, and it's you gotta have that mentality. You gotta love it.
You don't feel like maybe that adds a little bit, you know, constantly looking at, you know, better artists than yourself and consistently trying. I mean,
it can be bad. It depends how you view it. If it's inspiration or if it's making you feel bad about yourself. But if you're
I meant like in a good way, because like if you see if you're consistently looking and comparing, not in a
that's
I'm
the difference
less
though.
than.
It's comparing.
Yeah, but what if you weren't comparing in a fashion where you're beating yourself up, but you were comparing more in like a constructive criticism for yourself? Like, if you were looking at somebody else that was better than you going in the same direction, you at least have an idea of what's what about their artwork appeals to you? Do you have that kind of like introspective?
On a personal level, I stopped doing that completely. Still, like I stopped comparing myself to others because I realized that like I was in a race with myself, right? Like the only person I can really pass is me. Everybody else, like, you know, I could be like, oh, look, I have more likes on my Facebook page than somebody else. It doesn't really matter. You know, it's like the only person who I could actually really keep up with and pass is myself. So instead of focusing on, like, on that kind of stuff, like, it was fun, like, you know, using my friends in, like, healthy competition, right? Like, we both did a contest or something like that. But in the end, it was more about, like, on my personal leveling up than, like, what was happening on their side. We just used each other to motivate each other. So it's like, you know, you pull elements from everything around you, like literally everything. You pull elements from it, right? Like you talk to an old lady in the store, you learn something about a different personality. You might learn some history, right? But like in the end, the only person who you can really be in complete control of is you. And so like for that's why I was just like, I know how good I am now to a degree, and I know where I want to be, so I'm just gonna keep on working towards that. So yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say one thing. I think there's an important thing to never care about, and that's how old an artist is. I don't think you should ever look at an artist and be like, oh, but he's only 23, or like, you know, he's only 16. Like, don't ever care about age at all. It's
it doesn't matter.
And if you feel like you're too old, it's still
That's
not
not
too
true.
late as well.
No, Sinix is too old.
Yeah, I'm too old.
Okay, I take that back. Then.
I'm too old as well.
But yeah,
I can't remember. There's this artist. He started as a professional concept artist. I think he died recently of old age, but he started as a professional concept artist at like 40 years old or whatever. No, not professional illustrator at 40, and he just he started winning all these awards and just like dominating, and it was just amazing to see his work. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, anyways, continue, guys.
Hard work pays off.
There's a couple of questions for Jet. One is All Lucky 7 says or asks, is Jet drawing from his imagination or does he have reference around?
I have reference all around me.
Oh, okay.
They're floating around. Yep. I'm just doing.
By the way, which one is Jet? The one right now on the screen is Jet.
This is me.
Oh, Micah. Here's the other Jet question. Jet, what was your favorite picture that you drew that made you feel like an artist?
Oh, favorite. Which is my favorite? I guess they're all my favorite, right? I'm always learning something new in every drawing.
I guess which was the first? I guess they're asking what's the first one you did that made you feel like, oh, I'm an artist. I guess.
I don't think I own that one anymore. Like it was probably when I was 6 or 7. It was a sketch of Goku from Dragon Ball Z, and like.
Oh, I did one of those.
yeah. You sit around and like okay. One of my friends was really good at drawing. And he was 7 or 8 or something like that, and I loved this drawing so much I decided to copy his drawing. I didn't even know what Dragon Ball Z was, but you know we didn't have the internet at the time, so anything that was like comic related, it's like you want to keep it, and the only way of keeping it was to replicate it, right? So I didn't trace, you know, because that wasn't like something I thought of. Like I wanted to draw it, like copy it, like line for line. So after completing the drawing, I was pretty happy with it. I was like, wow, I did it. And then from that point on, I remember saying, I just want to keep drawing more and more. So that's where my journey started.
Oh, I remember when I was like 5 or 6. Yeah, like 5. Before I like started going to school and stopped caring about art. I used to have like a pad of tracing paper, and I would like trace drawings out of my Nintendo Power magazines just for fun. I don't even know what that relates to anything, but I just think it's hilarious when we talk about like kids and tracing.
Yeah, I used to just copy pictures. Yeah,
that's fun.
A lot of people did that.
And
that was like the beginning.
Micah asked, so did some of you get picked on in school, or I guess I should add in Sinix's case, or did you bully people?
Yeah, in Sinix's case.
Well, go ahead, Sycra. Tell us about it. Tell us about your getting bullied.
I still get bullied by Sinix.
Sinix is always a problem, it seems.
Better watch your mouth.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Sinix. I won't say it again.
Once this recording's off, let's just answer.
No. I didn't get picked on too much. I got picked on a little bit, but I had like a defense mechanism, which is just to kind of act crazy, and they sort of leave you alone.
I had that defense mechanism, and it just made it worse.
It's always weird to me. People pick on other people for being better than them at something. It's weird.
True.
But I guess that's why they do it.
And I don't know. They maybe are just insecure about their own work.
Exactly.
Is the question about like being picked on because you were an artist, or just being picked on in general?
I think it's probably being picked on in general, because a lot of people who are picked on, often they're sort of isolated, and that's what leads them into art, because there's a lot of kids that they were just a quiet kid who drew a lot, and they didn't, so it might go hand in hand, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know, in a weird way. I
have a more positive experience, I think, there. I mean, I guess I was lucky enough that everyone else was drawing at my side, so they kind of pushed me into it. I never felt bad about it. I never felt like I was being pushed apart because of it. I was just part of a group.
All the artists that I saw were like celebrities. Like everybody was just like, "Oh my God, you can draw!" And then people just lost it. Just went nuts. So that was what I was used to seeing. I wasn't even an artist at the time. I was just like, "Wow, that's so cool. I wish I could do that."
You're a rock star.
Wow. Artists, rock stars.
I mean, I'm kind of used to seeing that. That's normal, at least what I've seen.
Zeta Wolf says, "I keep telling you people, Sinix eats children." Okay, I'm gonna have to defend Sinix here, because I've seen him. He doesn't eat them. He takes a bite out of them, chews them, and spits them out, and goes, "No, that wasn't very good."
Wow.
Okay, Skull Drool asks, "Hey CT, where did you get the idea for your anime project?"
Yeah.
The anime project?
Yeah, he's got a girl called Annie May.
Oh,
That's just
I
awesome.
thought you were just lost the ability to speak correctly.
No, her dad's name is Manga.
Oh my God. Great, now I can't use that because you just basically claimed it. That is smart. Manga. I like that.
Wait, is it? I can't tell if he's being serious or not.
No, I made up the manga thing, but
His character's real. He has an anime character.
Anime.
Okay.
She's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess so. The way her project came about was after having so many different ideas, like over the years, I just kind of said, you know what? I just want to do a project that I don't really care about how it's going to turn out. Like it's like my trial project with room for error. So
yeah,
the anime project is just like my anything goes type of thing, because I just have so many ideas and I never go with them because I'm afraid I'll do something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you enter her into a competition?
Well, that's her. I guess that would be her origins, but
yeah,
her project, like her story idea, just came out of random drawings, and yeah, because she's just random. A random girl.
If you could be another person on this stream, who would you be?
Another person.
Either maybe
I would be Jet.
Ricardo, Jet, or Siege.
Wow.
Yeah, Jet or Siege.
I'd be Ricardo.
I'd be Sinix.
I'd be Sinix too.
How did I guess that was coming? This freaking guy.
I would be Sycra.
Gotta be another person.
be
So you
super
can't be
handy.
yourself.
There's a what art form do you want to learn? Oh no, never mind. I thought it was a different question. But I think it was a nice question. Is there any other type of art you guys would want to learn? Like
Animation.
Everyone.
Everybody. What? That's an answer.
What do you mean? Another kind of art you want to learn? Like, what does that mean?
Art style, I guess. Or wait, no.
art style or even another art.
It's pretty broad.
Another field.
I literally
Music
want to do
or
like I
dancing.
want to do sculpting. I want to do everything.
Sculpting, yeah.
Like,
I want to
everything.
learn manga.
Writing, something like
The
that.
chat has like completely.
I would really like to get into writing.
Oh.
You're not
yeah,
a bad
writing.
writer,
I would say
though.
writing.
You do write. What do you mean?
Oh.
You want to get into it? You're good at it.
Nah, dude, come on! I scribbled some nonsense a while ago. I never got into writing properly.
We get you, man. We get
Oh, Raccoon Deviant says anime sister is named Hentai.
Oh, they're just smashing it now.
and her little brother's name is Otaku.
The other characters' names that I already have, one of them is called Megan. And she wears glasses, so that's supposed to be like Megane. Another one is named Suna May. So that's Tsunami.
Of all of us, who would be the best mom?
Best mom?
Yeah, that's a weird question.
Such a weird question.
Who would be the best mom?
Because moms have to be kind of strict, but at the same time very loving.
I want Jet to be my mom.
I say Jet.
Yeah,
Jet.
Jet. Mom.
The best mom.
I bet she'd be hot too.
Thanks, guys. I wouldn't mind. I like to cook too.
Yeah.
He's so adorable.
Oh my
He's
god,
so
I want
adorable.
to go live with you right now.
There's a big compliment somewhere in there.
Well, I'll take it as a compliment.
Let's all go have dinner now.
But my mom days are over.
Aw.
Aww.
I live with a
We've
group
all
of
grown up.
friends, and I was kind of their mom for a while. The driver. I drove like 6 trips a day, back and forth, like starting like 8 o'clock in the morning till night, just like back and forth.
In a minivan?
No, in my freaking Toyota Corolla.
Oh, it should have been a minivan. That would be so motherly.
And I was cooking, and I was cleaning, and I was also cooking the food. So it
Damn.
was hard, man. But like, it wasn't that they forced me. It's just what I felt like I wanted to do, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but my mom.
no, I don't
future
want to.
Oh, I see how it is.
Michael Dickey says, I want Bob as my mom. Big mistake.
Big mistake.
That's a big
Oh my
mistake.
gosh.
So dangerous.
That guy has a sick mind.
I can be your mother.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
It's gonna turn into some like kill stuff. No spoilers, no spoilers. If anybody watches Kill la Kill, they'll know what I'm talking about. The relationship between the mother and her
Oh my
daughter.
god. Oh my
But
god.
I'm not gonna say anything else past that. So if you guys know it, then
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Oh, Lucky 7
Yeah,
asks, has any of you tried other types of art? But I don't know what that means. That's like, what do you mean other, like martial arts?
I dance.
Music.
Writing.
I want to play instrument.
I play instruments. They're
I
fun.
play an instrument too.
What instrument do you play, Siege?
I play the ocarina.
oh.
The Ocarina of Time.
Isn't that just like a step up of someone saying I play the recorder?
Pretty much, yeah. Except if somebody said I play the recorder, but really, really well, and then I get like thousands of dollars for it.
The recorder is like the like a gateway instrument.
Yeah, the recorder is very gateway, but I don't know. I saw a professional recorder player play on stage and everything, and he was ridiculously good. I was like, what? Instruments can sound like this? I didn't even know the damn thing had 2 octaves. They didn't teach you that in elementary school.
Well, wait, didn't you show me a really good ocarina player before?
Oh yeah, ocarina, yeah.
Like it was a special type,
also,
a special kind.
Link.
Yeah, had 4 chambers, and he's just amazing. He made it himself, and yeah, he's famous for that.
Okay, yeah. See, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't compare the ocarina to the recorder.
It's
They don't make you play it in school.
Well, yeah, actually in Taiwan I heard that they do. I saw that you play the ocarina, but the only difference is in Taiwan they actually love the thing. So I guess that's a real big difference. Like, hey, we like this instrument. We were just forced to play recorder.
When I was younger and watched anime, I actually wanted to learn to play the shamisen. So that's all the world needs is an... God, how do you not know this?
I'm sorry.
We already talked about it, shamisen.
Oh, we did. Sorry, I just don't listen when you speak.
Japanese banjo.
Sycra, somebody
that's
wants
all the
you to
world
do...
needed was like another skinny white guy like playing a Japanese instrument.
Oh man.
Alright, sorry, what were you saying?
Someone
CT?
wants Sycra to do some voice impersonation.
Oh yeah, me too. I want to hear that.
Oh, I want to hear Sycra, and then I want to hear CT.
No, Costa told me not to, and he's here. So
What was the...
I did what? I did not.
Yeah, you did.
No, you're the one who freaking came up to me and was like, I watched that and I felt so bad about it.
Didn't you tell me, like, yeah, don't do that again?
No, why would I tell you not to do that again?
It doesn't matter, do the voices.
Yeah, come on, Sycra, take us on a trip around the world. We'll all close our eyes.
I'm just gonna imagine you're whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
can't wait.
Come on, take us through Europe.
All right, Europe.
It's a tour.
Okay. What the hell am I doing in Europe? I don't know how I got here. Is that the Eiffel Tower? No. What the thing? Hey, excuse me. You can help me. Sir, I don't know why I'm in Europe as well. How do we get out of here? This is Europe. What's going on? I don't know why. Who's that? I think that guy can help us. Let's go to him. Why would you think I can help you?
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
There, we went there.
Big Steel says Sinix is white. You look so Asian.
Sinix is white? He looks.
Yeah, Big Steel.
How does Sinix look? Have you seen Sinix?
Have you seen an Asian?
Irish.
He's really white.
He's literally like
white.
the whitest you can go.
Yeah.
He's related to a sheep.
Get it? Because he's Irish, right? Oh man.
So this is super racist stream.
Yeah.
Alright.
Man.
You're so white.
I'm not
your girlfriend's
involved in this. This stream does not reflect my opinions.
Oh, that should have been in the beginning.
Super racist.
It's too late, CT. You're
It's true, man.
affiliated with
No.
this.
Yeah, good luck ever getting that job.
Yeah. When they think back, oh, who's CT? Oh, he's that guy on that really racist stream. Oh, God.
It's not racist. We're all from everywhere here.
Yeah, we got the United Nations in here. We're allowed to say whatever.
Yeah. Don't worry. We're not racist to any particular group. We're racist to everybody.
Yeah. Or that. No, we have love for everybody, each and every one of you, no matter where you're from.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
What CJ said.
Yeah.
At least that's what we want you to believe.
Is a gangster.
Who's a gangster?
Sinix.
Yeah.
No.
A straight
knows
thug
what's up.
killer.
Lay some of that lingo on us. Some of that gangsta lingo.
Let's see. What do I got?
Nothing.
I wonder if Sinix is good at getting girls.
Say what?
I wonder if Sinix is good at getting girls. I'll smell a Costa.
What? Yeah, it depends what kind of girls, though. He's good at getting certain type of girls, right?
Oh no.
You're really gonna blow me up like that?
I'm just reading what's in the chat.
Siege, do you see what Alice said?
No, what? Who said what?
Alice said you guys don't have a black person.
What?
Oh, that is insulting.
It's fine. It's fine.
We have plenty.
I guess our voices aren't deep
Who's
enough.
not black here?
Yeah, I know. I guess I'm. Sorry, guys.
We got two black people. We've got 2 Mexicans. We've got a whitey, an Asian, and an Indian.
Yeah.
And another Asian who's half in between both of those.
Yeah. So.
Dude, Ricardo is not Mexican. He's from Portugal.
What? He is? Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm half Venezuelan. Don't you dare flop us in that category.
Portugal, Venezuela, Mexican. Apples and apples.
Just throws it in there anyways.
Garlic Poncho wants to know, Sinix, how are you so beautiful?
Wow.
Is that an Asian girl?
It's gonna be a really long-winded answer. Oh God. You're gonna have to hear about this whole morning regimen, this whole morning routine.
Well, you need a good cleanser. I am the ugliest person in here.
I agree.
Face is art.
Hi, Portit.
Do you guys have any comments on your end? Because I am frozen.
Portit Jordan says hi.
Oh.
Yeah, talk Jet.
Okay, hold on.
Let's talk about some things.
Okay. Talk about some things.
Talk about some things.
Let it out, brother.
Let it out. Alright, I'm about to show you guys my drum. Okay.
Ricardo, Andre is speaking to you in your native tongue.
There it is. So these are some of the sketches that I started doing.
Whoa, slow down, Sinix. You went right through that first one. I was looking at that first one, was pretty nice, but you went right by it real fast.
Oh, you call me Sinix?
Yeah, you call him
right now.
I'm sorry. I meant to call you Jet.
Private Parts wants to know if he can have Bob's children, or she, or it.
Who can once what?
Wants your
To
children.
know if they can have your children.
They can have my children?
Yeah.
Oh, for a suitable fee, maybe.
I was gonna use a different word, but I can't say it.
I'm just watching the chat now because I can't say anything. Photoshop crashed out and it crashes the chat. I mean,
you're right. Airy Bird says, "What about a female though? You need." We got a female. Ricardo's here.
That's again. Every time.
I'm here too. Me and Ricardo, we're your females.
You gotta sound like one.
Our good friend is away right now.
Yeah.
Like the other female is away, just chilling and relaxing, having a good time.
The other female, not Ricardo?
Yeah, the other female, not Ricardo. We miss her. She's away.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Okay, I think I'm done with this prompt.
All right. Would you like another prompt, or would you like to take a break, or
Let's
what?
take a look at it.
Would you like a cookie?
Oh, let's look at it first. Yeah.
Everybody, let's look at it.
Here's an actual legitimate question from Jeremy. Is it really good thing to get technical at art, like in areas of perspective and color theory? I have been studying it for a while now, but I can't seem to get significant improvement. Any tips on applying and practicing them?
Wait, there's like 2 questions in there.
Is it good to get, and then because children of the world?
He's asking if it's good to get really technical with art, and any tips on applying and practicing and studying for technical skill improvements.
I think if you can find a balance, that's good between like the technical side and like the intuitive side.
Yeah. Don't be me, basically. No technical at all.
Oh. Like if you're all technical, then you're probably gonna lack a lot of life, in your drawings. It's not gonna have that life. So it's like get a good balance between the two.
Real fast, can we go to Bob's drawing and like? I just want to ask him something.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you give all the unicorns sunglasses and gold chains to make them black?
Let me see that.
Put it back. Put it back. Where is it?
Yeah,
it's on. Do you not see it?
No, I see a white screen.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, there.
Yeah, there.
Oh, that's so epic.
That's so good.
Dang. Should have given Jordan.
Damn, that one has the gold chain around his horn.
There we go. There we go. Hopefully that does it justice.
That's amazing.
Siege.
What's up?
Someone's asking what program you're using. It's Psy, right?
I'm using Paint Tool Psy. Yep, Psy.
Yeah.
Man, we got representatives from like every program.
I know, right? We should all be getting sponsored.
Yeah.
I'm gonna contact the people who made Psy. They don't make any money though, so they can't give me anything.
Got the Photoshop, got the Painter, got the Psy. We even got the GIMP.
We even got the GIMP.
Ooh, Sinix?
You're on thin ice, Sycra.
I'm using Manga Studio now.
Yeah, true.
I heard that.
We should say we're not doing critiques, right? We're not. Are we?
I'm not doing any critiques.
Nah.
No, we're not doing critiques.
We should do a show, just
a critique show.
For critique.
And I won't show up.
We should do a critique. Oh, really? You don't like giving critiques, Siege?
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm about.
What are you about?
If people are like my life is in shambles, my wife just left me, then I'll be like, I can critique that, and I will help you with your problems.
What would you say?
Oh, well,
yeah, why don't you critique Sycra's life right now?
I would be like, you need to come in my office. Come to my office on Wednesday, and we'll deal with your problems. And then I would sign a confidentiality form.
Adam asks, I have the problem with the speed of my drawings. What takes people 30 minutes to draw takes me 2 hours. I want to be in the video game industry, and I know speed is important. Do you have any advice?
Well, it's the same.
I'm having that problem too.
Mileage.
You'll speed up.
Experience.
Yeah, you'll speed up.
Dude, there's a problem here that's really cool.
Okay. Is it Justified Mayhem?
Draw Sycra in jet fighting with ducks in space.
Anime Cloud asks, are all you guys physically fit?
No.
Nah.
I'm kind of fit. I'm lying.
Jet is.
Jet is a beautiful human being.
Costa is. Ricardo is, right? You're fit.
Well.
Wait for the humbleness.
Don't be modest, Ricardo.
Wait for it.
Well, let me count my L.
I guess I'm not out of it.
14.
Kind of beautiful, I guess. I mean,
you're beautiful.
No matter what you say.
Oh my god.
We got another few.
How come every time I say you're beautiful, Sinix sings a completely different song?
Right?
It's what comes to mind.
You're beautiful.
Anytime I hear that word.
It's beautiful, it's true. I saw your face in a crowded place.
Alright,
What
well,
are
I'll leave it now, I'm joking.
To do.
That was great, thank you.
Don't know what to do.
Detox, Sandy.
What are your biggest inspirations?
That is
Nothing.
Inspirations.
my biggest inspiration.
My biggest inspiration is my family. I went
Really?
Wow. He's such a good mom.
Oh man.
This guy, man.
Come on now.
At least says draw Sinix being modest if possible.
Yes.
What?
At least said draw Sinix being modest if it's possible.
And make sure to get my good side.
That would corrupt all of our files. So I don't think you need to back up everything before trying something like that. That's a risk. And you'll still fail. I tried doing it on paper once, but my house lit on fire.
Any advice to make Sinix talk?
To make
Cynic.
me talk?
Yep, he just did.
I'm trying to contain myself.
The bag is crazy.
Oh, here's a serious one. Question: I always feel I don't have my own style, since I can kind of adapt to very different ones, and it may be hard to recognize it, and it may be hard to recognize my work. Is it a good or a bad thing?
I got this one.
I didn't catch that.
Say what?
It's kind of weirdly worded, or maybe I'm just retarded. I'll just post it there.
I got this one. Okay, style is something that it's like a signature, like a fingerprint, right? So it's gonna happen regardless. Like the thing is, as long as you aren't somebody else, then you will have a style of your own. You just kind of have to keep on doing what you do, and it will naturally develop. Like, of course, there's ways to push it and try to gain a style or just adapt. But your adaptability, eventually, you're gonna end up falling on certain habits and certain things that you're gonna do that are just gonna become you. It just takes time. Again, like mileage, right? So it's just don't really. Don't try to force it, and don't be upset that you don't have a distinguishable style while you're still growing, because it's just going to start happening, and soon people are going to be like, oh, I saw your work the other day, even though your name isn't on it or anything like that. They're just going to start noticing, because you can't stop it, because you are you.
Yep.
You can't you don't paint like anybody else here, even if you are good at adapting, unless you're literally a painting restorer or something like that. But yeah, so your voice will come through.
Forgers.
Yeah, but even if they paint on their own, they can do it their way. They have to study real hard in order to paint like somebody else, right?
There's two here, and both of them are for Sycra. One is just, it's a Sycra question, but the first one is, my private trainer asked me what my goal is. I told him I wanted that Sycra body. That wasn't a question. And then the second question is it fine to shut myself out from the outside world as long as I'm dedicating myself to the artist?
No.
Sure.
What?
No.
No. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Sounds like a bad idea.
That's a really bad idea.
Ricardo can tell you why.
Is external.
Yeah, it's easy because you'll become like Sinix.
Yeah, I was locked out of the outside world for a long time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You regret it. It's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. It's really not a thing.
Yeah, disconnected and then came back.
I don't get Ellis's comments. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh.
Gwen asks, "What's the point of this stream, dudes? I feel like I've landed on a weird alien planet."
That's
We're hanging
exactly
out.
where you
some aliens getting together.
Exactly.
They're just
Hang out
hanging
with
out,
us.
trying to make it happen. Crunch, crunch.
Talking
Instant
art.
happen.
Yeah, that's the point of the stream. We just talk and do whatever we want.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
No rules.
That's it. No rules. And no adults allowed.
No adult. What?
What? That's what. It's rebellious.
No adults allowed.
Yeah, what he said. I'll fight you in the streets.
I'll fight you in the streets.
I'll fight all of y'all.
Oh.
Oh, there's a question for Siege, I guess. Well, it's not directed towards Siege, but I think you could answer it.
Okay, I'll
It's
handle
by
it.
Andrew Japan 2. Any tips for talking to an artist that you admire and not seeming like you're trying so hard?
Yay, I like this question. Yes. Is that all? Can I?
Well, yeah, give it.
Not a tip.
Yes, is that a tip?
Yes, there are tips. Yeah.
He's giving
yeah,
you the
just
tip
have to-
of his answer.
Yeah. Oh my god. I just caught on. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You need to look at it from a different perspective. Like, okay, imagine what you would not ever want to hear from somebody else, and then do not ever do that. So it's just like if you're going to somebody who you admire, of course you want to compliment them, like because like to a degree, because you do respect their work, right? Like that's just obviously that's the only reason why you'd be asking this question, because you respect the person's work and you want to talk to them. So of course, be honest about it. Be like, I love your stuff, whatever. You inspired me, blah 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 blah. The thing you don't want to do is switch and flip over into fanboy or fangirl mode, which is where you're just like, oh my god, ah! Like nobody wants that because it's annoying, and then we put you into a box as just a fan, right? And so if you really want to gain respect from somebody, you sometimes it's good to go in with a real question. Like you go and you hit them up with a real question, but you talk to them like they're a human being, human first. So you're just like, all right, I've seen your work, I really admire what you do. I was just kind of wondering, blah blah blah. Or you just send them like a casual message, like just email them and just be like, I really appreciate what you do. This helped me out, yada yada yada. And obviously if you have some sort of a direction with what you want to say to the person, then you have to find a way to say that without fanning over them, and then from there you can kind of continue the conversation. But you just have to kind of let them in to know who you are, while at the same time not blowing them up to the point, because what a lot of people do is that they go, I'm not as good as you, so I can't talk to you, and then you actually purposely put yourself down a level, and for the other person in a subconscious way, like they don't mean to do it, but they don't see you on their level. They see you as just another number, another person that's come at you. For a lot of people, not everybody, of course. Some people break this, but some people, it's just because their contact is so many times a day, they just kind of see you as, it's just another fan. But somebody who kind of stands out and it's just like, hey, I'm an individual, and that's you, then you have a better chance of actually talking to this person like as a human.
So don't forget to add the yada yada yadas in your email.
Yeah, don't forget the yada yada yada. It's very important.
Well, my chat stream is frozen, so.
Awesome.
Gwen asks, how do you manage clients that ask for tons of modifications on an underpaid project?
Charge them more.
Yeah,
Fire
that's what
them.
you do. No, just charge them. Just let them know, like, oh, that's fine, but it's going to cost this much.
Yeah.
That or kidnap their kids.
Yeah,
that would
have the power.
You have to draw the line, because you're the one doing the
Draw
work.
the line.
You can walk out if you want, or you can take that work they're trying to make you do for free.
This is a good question. Have you guys ever had to copy someone else's style? I hear it's common. Oh no.
Yep.
In the business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the time. It depends what kind of jobs you have, and most of the lower job positions, or even middle ones, they require that. It's like, we have a guy who's done the designs, we need you to do it in this style. And often they will seek you out because the company has a style, and it's like, we think you would be a good fit. So you're not having to change it too much. I mean, it would be strange if someone was asking you to do something completely
that happens
different.
sometimes. That does happen, and usually
does happen.
that relates to
Like,
budget.
I'm working on a thing that's kind of like that as well, where it's like, yeah, this is completely different to my style, but they have to know you're capable. So.
Yeah. Sometimes they do it because of budget. Like some artists, they sell themselves so cheap that like they'll just be like, oh well, hopefully this person can kind of adapt to that. But usually the project crashes and burns. So yeah, don't undersell yourselves either.
2 things. Number 1, DK says Siege is a strong, independent woman. And
you go, Carol. Yeah.
Right.
And this one I think is good for Sinix. Jim Sullivan says thoughts on street art and graffiti.
I think it's great. You know, there was a time, like, when I was getting into art where I thought, I'm just going to kind of refer to all kinds of art. There was a time where I, like, saw modern art as something, like, stupid. And I was really, like, kind of arrogant about it. I was like, yeah, look at this dumb stuff. Like, you know, you look at, you know, like, people who just do, like, weird stuff. Like, here's a rat nailed to, like, a board or something. Or, you know, that, like, really weird kind of contemporary art stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, yeah, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. And then I saw some other artists, like, who I respected, and they were talking about it, like, and they were giving it respect. And then I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be writing off this stuff. And I kind of, as I've grown as an artist, I've realized, like, what those merits are to, like, all these other kinds of art. And I don't know, like, speaking of street art, I love street art. I think it's great. Anytime I see some, like, cool graffiti, I'm just like, oh, that's so awesome.
Is it because you're from the streets?
It's because I grew up on the streets. No, it's really not. It's just I just love when people can express, like, just things in different ways, especially if it's not something you're used to seeing. Because I grew up in, like, suburbs. I've never, like, we don't have any graffiti around here. Everything lacks kind of culture. So when I see it, it's really exciting. But just, I don't know, it's so good to not write off things because you think they don't have quality as art or they don't have, like, anything of value to share with you. Because I think you'll find that
especially anime, right, Sinix?
I don't know why you guys say that. Like, I love them. There's so much anime I love, and anime artists.
This one is for Bob. Do you want to become an official member of the Unicorn Gang? Your drawing has brought mad respect to the rest of the unicorns.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
Nice, you got an invitation. Man.
Oh, man.
You're gonna be Zoo.
That's right, I'm Zoo now. That's right.
Oh, boy.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be a part of the Unicorn Gang. Do I get my own horn to stick people with?
Woo! You better.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Lifelong dream come true.
Yeah.
Vince Van, however you say his name. So how does one go about getting one of you guys to do an AMA on Reddit?
What?
An AMA? Ask me anything.
Oh.
It's Ask Me Anything where you're essentially doing the same thing here, but you do it on Reddit.
I'm not cool enough for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm here already. I don't,
celebrities.
and I'm afraid of Ask Me Anything because it's like, well, I'm probably just gonna be like,
People are just like, so what's this? And I'll be like, oh, looks like Ask Me Anything is over. All right, nice.
Exactly.
Nice talking to all you guys.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, first of all, like, none of us are, like, that, like, celebrities. Like, if you want a question, you could probably just ask us, and if it's something, you know, that we have a good answer to, we'll probably just answer it.
That's
I mean,
true.
we're not out of reach. Like, we don't need to come into some, like, safe spot to do, like, okay, now you can ask me some questions. You could always ask any of us questions.
Word.
That's true. I'm open to
but anyway,
everything.
it's actually past 6, and I actually have to get going because I'm going to be doing some life drawing. So.
Yay.
all right, Sinix, thanks for joining us.
There we go.
Nice.
I wish I always had one of those around.
Later, man.
Later, and
See ya, man.
Good, man.
I did
Thanks
some
for
drawings,
dropping
but they're
by.
all pixely.
Hey, bro.
I'll
See you,
send
Sinix.
it by PayPal and everything.
Better not be late this time. All right, see you guys.
See ya.
Later, man.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey,
Oh man, I'm gonna
here's a
get
good
beaten.
question. How do you start doing commissions? I want to start doing commissions, but I don't know where to start. though I don't know if any of my artworks are even worthy enough to sell.
Ooh, that's I feel like with that, it kind of you kind of start whenever you want to start, but then it's your audience that needs to be like, yeah, we want to buy your stuff. So it's like you can kind of start anytime as long as like you either create a demand or you have a demand. And also about like I don't know if my work's worthy enough. That's not really up to you to decide when it comes to commissions or when it comes to people liking your stuff, because you can be like, I hate this work, and somebody's just like, well, I love it, so I don't care what your opinion on it is. You can't really tell other people to like your stuff or not like your stuff just because you don't like it. So it's just like, yeah, you got to kind of go by other people in that to that degree. So it's just like you might be ready right now. I don't know what your work looks like. You might be amazing and just beat yourself up all the time, and you know, so it really depends on just other people. So it's like make the option available. Be like, hey guys, you know, I'm offering commissions now. I'm doing them for this much money. You know, what would you guys like to see? Would you like something like this, right? And then if people come to you and say, yeah, I want a commission, then that's just because they love your stuff, and you can't really tell them that they don't. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, just make sure that you're ready. I mean, it sounds like you're ready, but just make sure that you're ready to take it on, because commissions can get kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In relation to this is in relation to the last thing you said, Siege. Don't undersell yourselves, which was your quote. How much do you know? How do you know how much you're worth?
How much people will pay you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, isn't that
It's kind of complicated with that, because like
no, there's a lot of decisions that are made. A lot of consideration.
I mean, I remember when I first I used to want to be a fine artist, and I used to do like portraits and pictures that I wanted to put in galleries, and it was this case of I'd make a painting and I'd be like, that looks like the other people at the gallery are selling theirs for 500, and this is twice as good as that, so that's 1,000. You get nothing. So you just like you'll learn pretty quick how much you're worth. And in the beginning, I think you lowball it, and then you get some people, and you're like, okay, for me anyway, it's like let me raise it a bit. And if people are still interested or people are not interested.
I've seen the opposite actually. I've seen people who were just like, man, this piece is garbage. Wait, let's see. And then they put like a really high price tag on it, and people are just like, why is it so expensive? There must be something special about it. And then they just drop like just bills on it because they think something more of it due to that high price. And I've seen it a lot more in fine art than in commercial stuff, just because everybody's a pirate in commercial.
Yeah, but how? I mean, like that. It's how do you prevent yourself also from being taken advantage of? Because I mean, there's
there's another thing too, where you need to look at what you need to survive, right? Like I'm not gonna be doing like a commission for somebody for like $2, knowing it's gonna take me like an hour when I have things to pay for. You got to calculate your expenses and your time, because time is money. Time is money. So yeah, you can't just be like throwing work out there and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this for $30, and it's gonna take me like 18 hours to finish. But I also have to pay rent, buy food, pay bills. Like, no, you're gonna die. You will die.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it takes a lot of consideration. You can't just
exactly.
Hey, how much is your stuff worth? It's like, no, you got all of these other responsibilities because money is involved, and when money's involved, then things get complicated.
What about for the community in itself? Like, you know, somebody might not have a great overhead.
I hate the community.
They're probably just teens or something.
I'm joking.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
What I mean is, like, you know, like you get these people who are, you know, they don't have crazy overheads, and they do it, and they're good, and they do it for such a low price, and then you have, you know, people expecting people who are living their lives because of the art to adhere to that price. And the market, you know, the value of the artwork or the value of what it means to get a commission from an artist starts to decrease because you're finding, you know, equal to or just slightly less than quality of work done for a fraction of the price. And
I think that's what DeviantArt's become. Because I look at the work there, and it's like some people are selling $5 like things for $5 that it's really underpriced. It's like, but that took you 2 hours. You're making
Plus however
$2.50 an hour. That's
Yeah.
And the other thing that's really crazy about globalization is that we have different. I mean, some guy might be charging a really low rate, but his cost of living is also really low, so for them it's okay. And then
True.
so
I guess if you look at, let's say, how a regular, like just any other person who's working, like what they make an hour, if you judge what you do on an hourly rate and then place a price in comparison to what people who work are making, then I would say that's like a good direction to look at it. Because what I used to do some concept art for these video game guys, and what the boss was telling me was that he pays his employees hourly, and he told me that, you know, depending on how many hours I work, I should take my rate, like give them the rate, and then say, you know, if I work on a thing for 1 or 2 hours, then it'll follow that rate. So like $30 an hour. That's kind of what I go with now, is 30 an hour.
Yeah.
So most of my friends are $100 an hour because but it depends on what you're doing as well. Because like if you're working on commercial stuff, right, you got to take how much you're doing hourly, then you also have to take the usage, and then that's when it gets really, really messy, because usage is where all the money comes. Like when you're working commercially. So it's just like you might be working for like your actual cost might be like, you know, $25, $30 an hour, right? Or my friends who are like 50 to 100, and then you're just like, oh, but usage fees, all right, let's drop a couple $1,000s on top of that, because because you got to think about it, like they're going to be using this design on all of their merchandise. They might be using it on skateboards and surfboards and all this other stuff. They might be using it in magazines for print for their website. They're going to be making so much money off of that one image, so you add usage fees on top of it in order to balance that out.
Yeah, those are
well, you can do royalties, but sometimes I always enjoy getting paid up front unless I really believe in the company, because royalties can get kind of fishy.
They'll come at you.
We'll give you royalties, yeah, we'll pay you afterwards once we make money from this. No.
I can't. Immediate no to those. I can't do those ever. I don't even reply. I can't.
No.
I think you actually hit on like the maybe the #1 standard for like how you know understand what you're doing is worth is based upon how it's going to be used. Because, you know, like the person who made the Hello Kitty logo is completely screwed out of the billions of dollars that company is making right now, because she took the job on and then was fired, and her artwork was still owned by the company, and 2 years later they blew it up when she was gone. You know, if somebody if you're
the Nike guy too.
If you're making a product for somebody, even like if you're doing branding or logos or anything, you know, you have to understand what you're doing for those people and what that means for them, so you can gauge how you're going to negotiate those prices. I mean, like that's pretty big. I mean, if you're doing a commission for some guy who just likes your work, it's going to be different than if you're doing a commission for card art that they're going to make thousands and thousands of dollars because you're doing bulk printing, and you deserve some of that money because you're the person who put the time into it to make it look good. I mean, It's essentially your product that they're selling, and you're saying, here, have my product, and you guys can make a whole bunch of money off of it, and give me nothing for it, or just give me the pennies on the dollar for it, which I think is why a lot of artists might be struggling. Am I speaking out of line here?
No,
you're on point.
I think that's absolutely true.
What a lot of people need to hear too. Yeah. That was awesome.
Tycoon 10 is asked. Oh, okay.
No, I just wanted to add something. I don't know anything about how you guys go about and how that works, but I know that in Brazil, the larger illustrators usually sell the right to use the image. They don't sell the image per se.
Yeah, that's
the work is never the company's work. It's always the illustrator's work, and he will just sell the right for using it.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
There's a lot.
legalities.
I think that's a good way to defend your stuff.
Well, some people do that, but it depends on who you're asking, right? Some people won't. Some companies that are hiring you will be like, well, then no, we'll hire someone else. Sorry. But
then you have to pick and choose who you work with at that point.
Yeah, but you have the right to take that stand. I mean, like, I think it's important that if, like, especially, you know, all the up and coming artists that are listening here, or people, if we raise the generation to say, no, this is what it's worth, and the company says, no, we'll find somebody else. Well, what if nobody else takes it, or the only people who take it are severely under par for what they were looking for? They're going to be forced to adjust. I mean, like, the problem is that we are all, like, starving and whatnot. We're like, no, we will. I got to eat today. And they can sense that, so they just start undercutting like crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
It's got deep, son.
Okay. Let's see.
I don't have any comments on my end.
Who is that?
I got one.
Who is painting the nude woman sitting, Jet?
Okay,
Jet.
I am.
Yeah.
I am, man.
Okay, what's yours? What's yours one?
Miami 45 is asking, is drawing anime considered going backward?
No. What?
No.
That's ridiculous. What?
Is what? You got cut off. What was the question?
I would say no.
Is drawing anime considered going backwards?
Backwards to what?
Yeah, backwards.
Back to life. Back to reality. No? Okay, sorry.
Why was Osmel Acosta's voice marked as comment marked as spam? Says Sycra, here's a question for you. Do you feel comfortable critiquing someone above your level? I often ask myself this at times. I think that's a really legitimate question.
I think, yeah, well, it's not marked as spam for me, but sometimes people mark each other's comments as spam. Like, I don't get to choose that. But anyway, do I feel comfortable critiquing someone above? Yeah, okay. Honestly, if I want to be honest, no. I don't feel comfortable critiquing someone above my level. But if I want to be like, should I? I shouldn't. I shouldn't feel bad critiquing someone above my level because maybe I see something in their work that could be improved, and I have like my vision is legitimate, right? I still am seeing something.
Totally perspective too.
But I tend to feel slightly uncomfortable just because in my journey getting better and better, I've had so many times, especially when I was younger, that I'd write something off or think something was a certain way. Especially, there's that expression, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. And you can get that and think like, oh, that guy doesn't know how to draw arms. That's wrong. That's this. That's that. And it's like, that doesn't mean you're right. You might, and then later as I get better, it's like, oh, I was wrong, you know, or I didn't understand that. So that's why I'm afraid to critique someone better than me, because I don't know. Chances are their eye is better than me, not just their skill, and I might be making an idiot of myself.
Can I add something to this?
Yep.
Hey guys, Siege here. Yeah, what I think is, well, at least for myself, one of my biggest improvement jumps was because of my non-artist friends. I used to be part of a language exchange website, and I used to talk to a lot of people from mainland China, and they were always just like, I don't understand your work. I don't understand it. Like, I would just be drawing like a picture of like, I don't know, like just somebody standing there in a neutral expression. And they're like, I don't get it. What's the story? What's the story? I don't understand this picture. I'm just like, can't you see it? It's a kid. It's a kid there. What's wrong with you? And then I would just dismiss them like, oh, well, they're not artists. They just don't get it. They don't get it because they're not artists. They're not better than me. So whatever. I'll only ask pros. And then I realized I'm an idiot. See, the thing is that you don't need to be a professional. You don't need to be amazing in order to have some sort of valid input. And these guys, they were looking at my stuff. They're my audience. Like, I don't do art for other artists. I do art for people, for the public. Like, I do art for myself, and then I put it out there for other people to see and enjoy. But if nobody's understanding it, then like what's going on? So what they were telling me, they weren't telling me in any technical terms like, oh well, this left leg is and the foreshortening looks wrong and look at the perspective. They weren't saying any of that stuff. They're just like, I don't understand the story, and through that I realized I'm not storytelling. Like there was no storytelling elements in my work at the time, and it took for a bunch of people who had never studied art a day in their lives to look at my work and tell me, because those are the people that are enjoying it at the end of the day. I think too often people, like even professionals, they're just going, oh, well, if they're not professional, then don't listen to them because yada yada, and that's completely destructive because everybody has an eye. Everybody can see something. Everybody has experiences every day. Just because we put this stuff down on paper or on canvas doesn't mean that we're somehow like smarter and better than other people with their experiences. You know?
I mean,
so,
to that, I would say that actually I prefer getting advice from someone who's not an artist than someone who's an artist that might be quite a bit worse than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can I play devil's advocate?
Can I add something?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It's just really quick. I was gonna say like there's a separation like between critiquing and then like getting feedback. Like there's a sort of separation between those because with critique you're getting it from someone who's actually I guess knowledgeable, but feedback you can get from anyone.
That's true. That's true.
Well then can I like I don't know, like this is a kind of a hot topic that I've gotten into a lot of debates with, and I mean I really feel like there needs to be an air of humility because it does seem like a lot of people this is going to sound really bad, so forgive me, this is totally my opinion, but it seems like there's a lot of people who are trying to compensate or make themselves feel like they should, and I'm definitely guilty of this, I have been guilty of this, I still am. And I know the reason why I do it is sometimes I want to feel like I'm greater than I actually am. And it's not because it's like I think I'm great or like awesome or whatnot. It's because, I don't know, sometimes it's a little bit scary to be an artist and you want to know that maybe you can see something more. So it gives you kind of like an idea of you know, the end of the road or that you can get better. But in that same sense, like when it comes to critiquing, I really feel like when you're an artist of a lower of lower understanding, and you're tossing out critiques to other artists, you know, around your level, maybe a little bit greater, that you're actually holding somebody back because you're guiding, you know, Sycra, you said to me a couple times, you know, getting a critique from somebody better than you is like borrowing their vision. Well, if you're getting all these technical critiques from people who don't have the level of understanding to actually push you farther, you may be adopting new and bad habits or bad vision, which is actually pushing you back, versus like the feedback of like what Siege was talking about, like a narrative and like your audience, and you know, making sure that you make it readable to your audience versus like, you know, becoming obsessed with fixing technical stuff that didn't matter in the first place. That I see a lot of artists, you know, nitpicking about when it doesn't even matter. Like,
I think that depends as well because like you don't really know where somebody's expertise is. Like just because somebody can't draw something as well as you doesn't mean that they don't know it as well. Just like I know a lot of art teachers who are actually like in terms of skill, they're not even close to as good as like half the students in their class, but they can teach it and they understand it really, really well. So they can break it down for you exactly how you need to hear it, exactly how you need to see it. But if you were to just judge them based on the art that they were putting down, then you get none of that knowledge. So that's how I always look at it too.
So would the happy medium be, you know, taking the critiques with a grain of salt?
With a grain of salt, yeah.
I also think it really matters or it's really important to find what the person's actually saying. So, for instance, I know when I was working on my style, I heard comments like, you know, the chin's not working, you're making these pointy chins or whatever, and don't do that, don't do that. And the thing is, it's not don't do that, that's not the important part. The important part is it's not working. So then you have to find, okay, well, if I keep this, what do I have to fix in order to make it work? Instead of listening and just being like, oh, it's not working, therefore I have to scrap my idea. It's like, no, any idea can work, you just have to find out how to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
True. Yeah, I like that. I like that, man. That was good. So
That's the good one. That's the good one.
That's the good one.
That's the good one.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
Nice.
Who is Maddie Moon is asking who's drawing the awesome black and white portrait? That's Siege. That's Siege, and he's drawing, and he speaks as well. And if you want, if you're having art blips and you want some life tips, then don't go to his channel. But if you want art tips and you're having life blips, then Siege. Siege will help you.
Yeah.
Promo.
I'm here for you guys. Here for all of you.
Well, my chat is like, I have to refresh the page to see what the heck is going on.
Here's a question.
It's not loading.
What's the single most important thing you ever learned in art? From either from school or from your peers?
What about from yourself?
Or from yourself, yeah.
Oh, I know. I think I know this one.
I can tackle, for me, from my opinion, I guess it's, for me, was not get too attached to what you're drawing.
That's a good one.
For me,
I think that was the single most important thing for me.
Nice. For me, it was explore. Never stop exploring. That was mine.
Oh, okay. Maybe mine is to never limit yourself. I think that's mine.
How about you, Sark? You said you got this one.
Oh, no. For me, it's just was understanding mileage, like the reality of mileage and how just drawing a lot solves so much stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, you, Jetty?
Oh, what was the question?
What are you doing over there?
what did you have for dinner?
What do I have for dinner?
No. What was the single most important thing that you learned?
Oh, the single most important thing.
Art related.
Or from yourself, yeah.
Oh, okay. Single most important thing is, I would say, humility. So like you basically accept your faults and then listen to. So it goes back to the question of taking advice or taking opinion from people who don't draw. You know, I think I picked that up before I went to art school. So I was like about 20. That's like 10 years ago maybe. And I think that was really important because then I opened my mind to so many different possibilities that I wouldn't have explored before. So I went in with that kind of mindset, and it really helped. But it also helps to know when to not try to please everybody, because then you just end up like not making. But no, I'm done.
How about you, Bob?
How about you, Bob?
I think it's something very similar to Sycra's. Except I think I would call it perseverance. No matter which path or which direction you take in art, whether it's in style or just the process or anything, as long as you keep walking down that road, you will reach a result. You will reach an end. And as long as you keep going down that way, then you'll always improve. And it doesn't matter which direction you take. So yeah, that's what it is for me. Perseverance, never surrender.
Artifacts9 says, if I'm not getting any feedback for my work, does that mean it's bad? I would say that there's, like, Will Terrell, he did an awesome video specifically covering this topic, so I would go to Will's channel because he goes really in depth into that specifically, and I thought it was very insightful.
Shout out to Will.
Why you guys both drawing hearts on your...
What?
I'm not watching anybody else's screens, so I don't know.
It's funny because, like, Siege, you put a heart next to your girl, and so did Jet.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Huh. You two are connected by love.
Exactly. It's because we're both loving people.
I think this is a. I know it's been answered a lot, but I think it should be cleared up by a lot of people because you use this term a lot, so it's a good operational definition clear up. What do you mean with mileage, Wolf, in art?
Oh, mileage is just putting in the work, drawing over and over again. Because I think I used to be confused about things like talent or not really trusting that I could get better, and the idea of mileage is knowing that no matter what I want, no matter what destination I want to get to, I can get there. The only thing I don't get to choose is how fast, like when will I get there? I don't know. But as long as I put in the work, it's kind of like taking the steps. You're moving forward. You may look way off to the horizon, like I want to get to the peak of that mountain. In the beginning, you're just walking. It doesn't look like it's getting any closer. But the thing is, as long as you're walking towards that goal, you are getting better. You are getting closer to that goal, and you will get it. The only thing that can stop you is yourself saying like, okay, I either I quit or I'm walking somewhere else, because it's like, yeah, okay, if you change your direction, yeah. But with that said, you still can take detours and then still be like, why did I go down this path? And then reorient yourself to that point that you want to get to and then keep walking again. And eventually you can get anywhere, I think, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think that's a good explanation, because I feel like a lot of people waste their time just looking for the best road, and they stand still in the same spot and never go forward. And I guess it's you just gotta get moving. If you want to get there, you just gotta move. You can't stay still.
It's kind of like the fear of starting, in a sense, to that degree.
Yeah.
Like it's scary sometimes. It's like I don't know where I want to go exactly, so I'm just gonna stand here and think about it for the next 10 years to try to figure it out. But instead, you should just be walking and moving and trying. Like that's why mine was to explore. It's like try everything, because you never know what you're gonna love, and you never know what you're gonna hate. But if you try a bunch of things out, then you have a chance to experience all of those things and possibly find a love in something that you had no idea you would even like. You wouldn't even have thought about it.
I mean, Jet's kind of doing that right now in the piece he's working on. I've seen him like change the background a million times, and it's the case of like he's exploring. That's exactly what he's doing right now.
Oh yeah,
it's like,
does
this work?
Thanks, Jet. Illustrating my points.
I feel like everything that everyone learned, their best thing that everyone learned has a place in every artist. Like it's just super beneficial if you had like each of those qualities.
Mm-hmm. This is a good piggyback question. Not entirely piggyback, but it's good. What's the best way to avoid feeling overwhelmed when learning to draw from reference?
I would say fight one battle at a time. Like don't tackle everything. It's like the more specific, the more chance of success you have, right? The more you can focus in. Like I just want to learn how to get better at this, values, or even specifically you could say my problem is that I'm making my darks too dark, so in this drawing I'm just going to really pay attention to that and try to make my darks a bit lighter. It's whatever it is.
It's mentality and intent.
Yeah.
If you have those figured out, then you shouldn't find yourself frustrated because you'll know what you're aiming for.
Yeah, it's just getting to that point where you figured out your intent.
Do you guys like do you guys like art by Mark Curley?
Who that?
Who said who that?
That was
who that?
So honest. Who that? That's awesome.
Oh, Mark Curley. Okay.
He's
I know Mark Curley.
He's a great artist, I think.
He's very
determined, disciplined, and hardworking.
And what's the word I'm looking for? Like he has no problem with sharing what he knows.
It's true.
It's like the mentor.
He's kind of like, for me, he set the bar, and I'm like, because of his work, I'm doing what I'm doing. I feel like I was inspired by him. So, a lot of people, like including Sycra, you see their stuff and then you're just like, man, I wonder if I can do that too, and then
you're like, holy shit, yeah, it was easy.
Psych. Not really.
Okay, Mohammed Alataibi asks, if I want to draw a realistic drawing with details, should I go with the round brush or should I use a specific brush? I mean, I saw some artists using special brushes. Does it make any difference?
Use whatever brush you want to use, whatever you want.
Actually, I would ask Costa about this because you use like specific brushes, right?
Yeah, I mean it depends on how rendered you want to get.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do it loose and whatnot, you can start out with a hard round and then go straight into a soft and, you know, harmonize all those values. But I mean, if you're trying to get ridiculously realistic, you know, like where you're getting all the pores on the skin and whatnot, it's impractical to think that you can get away with, like, you know, a soft round and go in there and paint all those specific little things when you need to have a brush that can, you know, mimic that skin texture. And it's going to take time, and then you can go in with the soft round and add little details. But I use a lot of different brushes, and I have my go-to brushes for different areas of the skin or different parts of the face or whatever, you know, because nothing, Photoshop can help you compensate with that a lot if you learn how to make your own brushes and, you know, look at your reference and see, you know, what textures are going on there and how you can maybe stack a textured brush in order to create that effect. I don't know. I don't know if that helps.
I don't know. I see things kind of, when it comes to realism, sometimes it's a blur because like we're just like, yeah, it's super realistic, but then somebody else does something in a totally different style, and it's like that's super realistic too. And then somebody else does something in another style, and that's realistic. Like
who's doing the tapping? I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know.
If you know tapping.
I mean, like, at the end of the day, the way I paint out, like, my realism and whatnot is, you know, it came from experimentation, and I, you know, eventually made my own brushes that worked for me, and I like the effects of them, but, you know, you find somebody else do it, they're going to be using a different brush set, maybe one that they got off of DeviantArt or, you know, Crimson Daggers or something, and then they're going to use their own techniques. It's just a matter of being able to observe either your reference or have the level of understanding to know, like, how to make that effect. And essentially you can use any brush you want if you know, if you understand what it is you're trying to go for. I just find that it's not, with the power of Photoshop, it's like, why are you going to hold yourself back if you're going to be doing digital painting when, you know, like you can obviously compensate, you know, by just understanding the program a little bit more. And you're either on the reference or through understanding, you know what effect you want, so just tailor up whatever brush you're going to use to make that effect. And through the experimentations, you might find something that works for something else, and you might be like, oh, this is perfect for, you know, rendering out metal, but it's terrible for skin. And now you have another brush that you can use that makes your life a little bit simpler. Because with realism, it can take a super long time, and it can be a big headache. So I say anything that affords you a little bit of luxury that saves you time, go ahead and use it.
But please, who is tapping? I mean, it's really loud on my.
I'm just gonna. How about I just mute everyone and we'll see if it stops it.
It stopped already.
What happened?
No, it's still there.
What's still there?
There's like this sound.
Oh.
Is it still there? Okay.
No, it's gone.
Okay. So
if you can hear the sound, it's not you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
How do I unmute?
You can't have to unmute the sound.
Ricardo.
Oh.
Somebody's asking a question. Janine Guzman says, what's the best way to overcome your art block? I keep getting those lately.
Me and Seage both made videos on
nowadays. Do you look for inspiration? Okay, so, yeah, go look at Siege's and Sycra's videos on art blocks.
Art blocks.
By the way, I'm 25. It's not letting me say that in the chat. Somebody asked me CT's age. I think we're both 25.
Yep.
I'm about 46 and a half.
Dang.
46 and 3/4. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
3/4.
Oh, I get
That's
it.
75 cents.
You guys are talking about different things. So, do you guys want to wrap it up soon?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Wrap it up.
Sure.
All right. So, any last questions, or because my thing's not even updating. Yeah, a lot of people are just pissed off about the tapping.
Really?
A lot.
Huh?
There was a tapping that was happening, and it was really annoying.
It's
Oh, here's a decent question that I think because now mine updated that a lot of artists make. There's tapping. How do you CJ Sucks? What's his name? Asks how do you know when to stop pleasing everybody or when to start listening to critiques, which I don't think is mutually exclusive.
How do you know when to stop pleasing everybody? Or when to start listening to critiques? How do you know when?
Yeah. How do you know when to stop, quote, stop pleasing everybody, end quote, or when to start listening to critiques?
Well, to stop pleasing everybody, I don't even think that should be like motive. Like using that as a motivation, like you gotta please somebody else. I don't know if that's well, personally speaking, because I don't really draw for others. Like I don't get work for others, so.
I don't think that thought should even enter into your mind when you're doing your art. Just do the things that you like to do, and then other people who will like it will be drawn to the works that you do. So
Yeah,
that's from my experience. I can vouch that.
Yeah, when you try to please everybody, you end up really overwhelmed because you've got so many different opinions because everybody wants something different, and you can't keep up with it, and then you get stressed, and then some people end up just giving up.
You lose sight of yourself if you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no individual. About the what's it called? What was the second half of this question? When to start listening to critiques?
Yeah, that's the second part of the question.
I feel like critiques should. I feel like you need an invitation for critiques. Like I don't know. I know personally, I don't appreciate getting critiques if I'm not asking for it. But regardless, I would say just have an open mind. Listen to what people are saying, but you don't have to do any of what they suggest. But having an open mind is good.
I'm very open to critiques. So I'm different in that sense, though. Like
I'll take the critique. I'm just saying, like, I'm not really looking for it because people will try and tell me I'm doing a certain thing, and I'm just kind of like, well, I'm already aware of these sort of things. It would have been better if I was asking for critique.
I get you. I'm just saying, like, on my side, like that, we differ on that because I'm just very. But then again, I've always got like my direction is very different from yours because like you have very structured thinking and structured characters and stuff like that, whereas I'm kind of like. I'm just going to do whatever my painting said to do. And then somebody else goes, hey, I see this, or maybe you should try that. And then I'm just like, I'm so open to it because there's no underlying anything other than, like, I'm trying to portray, like, an emotion or some sort of story, or, like, something very light. So I think it is different just because of that as well.
Oh.
Kind of like because our intent is very, very different.
Yeah.
And mine, I'm so open to any possibility, whereas you have a very structured story with what you're usually putting out, at least from what I've seen.
Okay.
So I guess that comes across. I never even thought about that until just now.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Tech10 is saying, why is it that painting to please people a bad thing? Aren't we all doing that? That's why everyone posts their work online.
I don't think we're all doing that.
Nah, there's definitely some things to consider.
Some people do that. I saw, like, there's a video by Mark Curley where he talks about, like, he got into art because he likes to please people, and I think that's fine. Different people are different.
Yeah,
so.
I want to say it's inherently bad. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying don't lose sight of why you're doing what you do.
Like, kind of like what you just saw, right? So, CT, he doesn't like getting critiques if they're not asked for. Siege, he likes getting it no matter when. And it's like, let's say you just watch one art channel and you view it as gospel, and you're like, oh, CT said this, so let me write that down and put it on my wall, and that's what I pay attention to. Or, you can't. That's why I do interviews with artists, because I know whatever my experience is, that's just one viewpoint. And but people are different, and some people will listen to my stuff and be like, oh, that makes sense to me, and some people will look at other people's stuff and be like, oh, that makes more sense, so I'll listen to that. And so,
Yeah, you can take
Nothing
it or
is
leave
set in
it.
stone.
I think he brought up something that's like really, really important, which is not holding one artist's, word as like the word of God or like or like the way, and because everybody's so different that I think it's very important to have many people that you follow and listen to many people because
You get a broad perspective on things.
yeah, if I would have followed, Sycra's tutorials and specific things versus, Blue Flay or something, I might still be stuck thinking that this one way that I'm pushing myself through that's causing me a lot of pain is the only way. It isn't until I started branching out and listening to other people that I found things that were working for me and like areas I felt more comfortable in and that helped me improve quicker. So, I mean, I just noticed that a lot of people will be like, oh, this guy said this, therefore that is, the law. And I don't feel like that's a healthy way to go about, improving an art.
I've never met one artist who has said anything that is perfectly true all the time. Like, no matter how good they are, I've never met one that it's like, no, everything they say is completely right. And I mean, you probably could do the same on the opposite end, where like there's no one who's everything is wrong in what they're saying either. But someone asked if you would pay for a private art teacher. Is it bad to pay a personal art teacher? I don't think so, because I did that for a while.
I did that too, and he's in the stream.
Jet.
I would like to be able to do that.
What?
And I thought it was a really good, because the thing is, who's your art teacher though? And the one I got, I knew he was very good in a certain thing that I wanted to learn. So yeah, of course I would pay for it. Because people pay anyway when they go to art school, but the thing with that is you're kind of rolling the dice. You don't know for sure, or maybe some teachers you like and some you don't. So personally, paying for a teacher is to me it's like skipping the middleman. Just go straight, and you can usually ask whatever question you want. And I've done things where I've just paid for like one session just to get an opinion, or maybe I'm stuck at one thing and I know they know how to do that one thing, but it's not like I do that often. It's just I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Caleb says Bridgman always right.
Bridgman's not always right. Bridgman's one of those people that it's like totally you're not always right.
And people follow him religiously. That's the problem.
That's the thing with all the. I mean, here's the thing. I was looking at Loomis's books, which I love Loomis. Like, don't get me wrong. He was the guy I started with, and I learned so much from Loomis. But I see problems in his stuff, and now I'm just seeing more and more problems. And it's like figures that I thought were perfect. Like there can't be anything wrong with this. Now I look at it, and it's like, oh, I see problems. I see things that could be fixed. So no matter who it is, there's always issues because none of us are perfect. And especially, like, I look at my videos right after I upload them, and sometimes it's like, oh, what? I did that wrong. And then I'm lazy, so I don't take it down. So yeah, you're. But the point is, you still can learn something. That's the point. Yeah. I mean, I've had times where like I look at a shoulder and I'm drawing it and I'm like, so make sure you get the elbow right, and it's like, so I called the shoulder an elbow, but hopefully no one's like, Sycra said it's an elbow, and then you go to the doctor, I hurt my elbow.
How do you fit when you're an artist? What?
Yeah, cause
what?
Try to reword that.
Dog Snack said, question, how do you fit when you're an artist?
It's
you put on a shirt.
How do you get fit, or how do you fit?
Oh, how do you?
People?
Is it the person who keeps asking about getting fit?
I don't know. If you
how do you stay fit? I work out 3 times a week.
Oh.
Yeah.
You get yourself some anabolic steroids and you take them a
lot. Don't listen to Costa. He's a bad guy.
I'm just being an idiot.
Don't take steroids.
That's not a good idea.
It's a terrible idea.
There was a question earlier I would like to pose to ask. Is there any question you guys would like to that someone would ask that never gets asked?
There is, but I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm gonna wait if anyone asks me, and then I'll be like, "Yay!"
Will you marry me? Is it, what?
I will.
No.
Wait a second. With your thing, so you're telling me if Kim Jong-il put out or started teaching, you wouldn't take his word as the word of God?
Of course not.
Okay.
I saw Kim Jong-il, and I got his 3 biggest things. What is it? Observe a lot, draw a lot, experience a lot. Was that it, Jeff?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere along those lines, yeah.
Yeah. And even with that, it's like, yeah, cool, that's your opinion. Like, here's the thing, no one is God. There are just people who have more experience. And with Kim Jong-il, I think he's so crazy good in a way that seems not human, but at the same time, he's not perfect. Like, no matter if there was the person who is better than everybody else, they're still not perfect.
Yeah.
I was just trolling.
Wait. Oh, okay, never mind then.
Oh, what is it?
I was gonna say, like I feel like there are fundamentals, and anybody can preach them, but then there's also application, which kind of, that's what divides how one person does a thing. It's different from the way another person would do it.
You know what? Yeah. On the staying fit question, to be completely 1,000% honest, I think it's very, very important for an artist, especially somebody who's going to be sitting down in a chair for an extended amount of time, to have an exercise routine that they do.
Oh, for sure. I gotta agree with that too. And again, as I said, don't take it as gospel, but it really has helped me.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Oh yeah.
Because sitting on your ass is not good for you.
Well, you're not meant to do it. Your body's.
Here's something else. I'm wearing glasses, and I don't.
Oh shoot! I need those.
I don't need like my eyesight's it's getting worse. But anyway, my glasses aren't primarily the ones I wear for looking at the screen. They're not primarily because of my bad eyesight. What it has is like this special coating. It's like a UV coating, and it's very good for blocking out the screen light. Because what happened is before them, I found my eyes would get tired from looking at screens. And ever since I wear the glasses, now when I don't wear them, my eyes get really tired really fast. But as long as I'm wearing them, I never get eye fatigue. So it's the same thing with fitness, like taking care of your body, making sure you're getting enough, vitamins and stuff, and taking care of your eyes, because I think the 2 biggest things for artists other than the brain is really the wrist and the eyes. You want to make sure, because wrist damage is really easy to get as well. You want to be making sure you're taking breaks. I do these stretches with my wrist as well. You can look online for stretches that prevent carpal tunnel syndrome and things. But yeah, that's important.
You should do a video on that.
You could do one too, Jet.
But I don't do wrist exercises. I need to learn, man. I need to see what you're doing.
Oh, I just look up carpal tunnel syndrome. It's just really simple exercises.
Is there any one artist you guys could recommend to follow, like Loomis, Bridgman?
Follow us.
No, I'm just kidding.
CT Chrysler. Yeah, I think that's actually one of the Oh, you mean just everyone gives their favorite artist to follow, or we all give a recommendation? Or does it mean, like, is there one artist that I should view as an idol? Because I would say no.
No, just a recommendation.
Oh.
Someone who's a good example that you would recommend.
Android Jones.
I would say Siege.
What?
Siege is a good. You're an artist who's all about like positivity and all that, and I think that's really important. So I would recommend you.
Oh, cool.
Aww.
Thanks,
well, so is Jet.
This isn't a fight, man.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
Well, thanks, Costa.
All right, Jet, we got to find it out now to find out who's the most positive.
I only say that because you have a lot of, technically good artists that would be a good recommendation. But I feel like there's a lot of mental things that need to be attended to as well, because being an artist can be very, very frustrating. So if you have nobody telling you like, oh, try to stay positive, try to look at the good side, or know where you're at with your art, or how to handle or deal with these sort of situations while you're an artist, I feel like those things should be talked about too.
Well, don't you think that's true when trying to become great at almost anything? I mean,
art is life. Life is art.
Well, not just that, but I mean, like, if you wanted to become a great dancer, if you wanted to become a mathematician or something, I mean, like, having somebody to listen to, not only as a art coach, but kind of somebody to listen to as a guide, can really help you out. Because I mean, if you're really depressed, or you're having life problems, or your brain is going crazy because of a whole bunch of issues or stress, or whatever's going on, that's going to impact your ability to get better at anything. And sometimes it helps to be able to just hear somebody, that's not only in your field of study, but somebody you can relate to in that field of study. I would say, like, even just listening to positive people in general is like a really good thing, because the more you switch your framing up on reality, the better you're going to become at anything, because your mind is going to clear up, and you're going to be able to afford more of that mental energy to your practices versus your stresses.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Your ability to do anything is affected by, I guess, yourself. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Real quick, Wolf and Art says, just as a random thing, I lately watched some video of Jet about sketches of Diamond, and it helped me a lot, smiley face, and by that, I met an awesome group, so thanks to Jet and everyone else in the stream.
Hey.
All right, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, we have like 3 minutes left. So.
Yeah.
Oh, snaps. Lewis says those exercises are how to get carpal tunnel syndrome. Why would someone do that? Why would someone here's how to get carpal tunnel.
You're evil.
I can get into that. I can make a video into that.
Oh yeah?
Nice.
Do it, Ricardo.
How to get
I've treated a lot of them, so.
How to not get it? Okay.
Where do you get those glasses you were talking about? I can't give you because it's a local store, and they have like a brand specific thing. So I mean, it's not. I doubt you'd be able to find it, but it's just like ask them if there's one that has it prevents eye fatigue from looking at a computer all day.
I should look.
Tucker, do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a younger brother and an older sister. My younger brother's a senior animator at a studio in Vancouver.
How awesome.
He sounds just like you.
So people say, but I don't know about that.
It's a lie. He doesn't sound like you.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
What is the question, Sycra? The question that you wanted someone to ask, but you won't say it yourself.
We got 2 minutes, so I'll tell you after.
Oh.
Oh, you are trolling the entire room right now.
That's so good. Like an evil genius. Oh, it's horrible.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I just want to thank my special guest. I'll start off with Sinix because he's not here, and I think he has good channel. You should watch Sinix's channel. Don't judge good art by bad personality.
Rosa.
I want to thank Bobmeatbag, who. Do you want to show your works that you did? Just
Sure.
I want to see.
I didn't do much today because I was pretty tired. But
for some reason, I can't see Bob's screen.
Yeah, he stopped screen sharing, so hold on.
I didn't see it roll the entire thing.
Oh man, you'll see it on the video if you watch the video.
All right. Tell me when you guys see it.
See it.
Yeah. So here's the first one.
Okay, that's the cool gorilla.
Yeah.
Wow.
That gorilla is so good.
Magic.
And here's the second one. And that's all I did for today because I was tired. I'm sorry,
the
guys.
Unicorn one.
That's
I remember
awesome.
that. That's still really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jet, we have Jet who did this beautiful lady. I love the colors.
Thanks, buddy.
Very amazing.
Experimenting.
She cute though.
Do you want to actually go through all the? Because I know you did a bunch of drawings today, right? You want to do a quick scroll through?
Yeah. So I couldn't think of what to do, so I just thought I'd take it easy and do some figure drawing. And some of the figure drawings were from last night. Just to hang out, we draw, and I just wanted to say earlier, basically, I haven't done like quick sketches in so long. So like when I started this, like it was really kind of like rough, and like these are all I think these are 30-second sketches. So I was trying to do too much in such a short period of time, but later on I started getting a little looser and started finding like what are the main points that I needed. Just kept experimenting with these different shapes, different ways of approaching it, different line thickness, and then eventually I just started having fun. Like this one's a little more jagged.
Yeah.
A little more.
That one's pointy.
A little more silhouette-y. A little more silhouette-y here. And then these were from a website. So figure drawing website that it changes the pictures. Pixellovely.com, right? It changes the pixels on the pictures for you automatically, and you just draw. So that's that. And then I came across a picture that I really liked, and that was the one I ended up cleaning up. I'm not cleaning up, just taking more time on. And yeah,
Nice,
that's
man.
That's what I did. Yep. So this was the first thing I did. I was like, wait a second, I really like that pose, so I took it and I did that.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Roll.
Very good.
All right, Siege, we're on to yours. What happened? You've got Luffy, you've got Chopper.
So I decided I wanted to make this very culturally friendly for everybody in the world, but then I focused on Japan. And I got Chopper here. I feel like he really adds a lot to this headscarf thingy that we got on. And Chopper is confused, very confused. So he's saying hey, and also Nande. So and then we've got Luffy here, and Luffy's really strong. So I decided I would give him a 6-pack of buns on his chest, and he's got a starfish, because it's kind of like, I know that people get kind of weirded out by blood or scars and stuff like that, so I decided I'd make it like PG and stuff for you guys. Instead of having a scar, be a starfish, because starfish, they're cute. And then I put the logo, because that's important to have, and then another Luffy over here, and and then she's got Nico Robin's glasses from one of her outfits that she's worn, and yeah. Other than that, this is just a picture of a girl that, thanks to Costa, I started doing, because he asked me about working with shape, and I was just like, hey, I'll do that, and then I just painted this out. So yeah, this was me showing you guys how to work with both line and big shapes and stuff, and having fun and just building something up from nothing.
Very lovely.
Speaking of Costa, what is this handsome fella that you've got here?
Ooh, yeah.
This is a portrait that I could not finish because I kept getting, I guess Photoshop was taking up too much of my resources, so I kept getting dropped, so...
Zoom in, man.
Oh, shoot. I mean, it's not even close to being done.
Good,
at all.
man.
You're getting so good, dude.
Oh my god. Oh, here we go. There we go.
Very
There's my
nice.
second layer.
Oh.
But it's not even close to being done. I still have a lot more work to do.
Everyone's asking what tablets we all do. You wanna? Or I'll yeah, because the other two guests I want to thank are Ricardo and CT.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
He's a cool guy. You should check out his channel. I'll put CT's channel up because I didn't have that before. It's like a really hard one though, right?
It's like
yeah.
CT Productions YT.
Yeah,
It's an old channel.
It's a really hard one.
I wanted to change it, but
more
I'll probably have to wait until I do a new channel
right
afterwards. But it's because I had one for so long that I didn't even bother to change.
Oh man! Before we go,
this is CT's channel, and he does GIMP speed painting, and you also do like composition, right? Music.
Yeah, I make music.
How do you know which ones are the music and which ones are the speed painting? Is it all in the thumbnail?
It's all in the title. I make sure I put it right at the front, so you know.
Okay.
So if it says FL Studio, it's music. If it says GIMP, then it's a GIMP art.
Sweet, awesome.
Crack music.
So I was wondering,
right.
did you show CT's artwork, man? I think it would be cool to showcase his work.
Why you gotta go do that?
Okay.
I really.
DeviantArt. I'll go to CT's. It's DCTV.
Just saying, man.
Dude, I'm more than happy to showcase CT's work. It's freaking good.
It's a treat, you guys. So that's, I mean, because like we were.
Yeah, some people don't know CT.
Maybe
this
not.
is CT's.
They've been living in a hole, basically.
Oh, you know what?
We're about to find out.
Yeah, let's look at CT's work. This is
all right.
His work, and
Hot
this
fire.
is also his work.
He also spits it.
So good.
Is the Powerpuff Girls one coming up soon?
It's on right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. This one.
Yeah.
Oh, just click next. There's a next button up there in the upper left.
Oh boy. Okay, upper left.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Like right on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That one's cool.
I like that so much. I like that one so much.
So there's our
mystery baby girl.
Yeah.
This is our art mystery man. Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What is happening?
So much love in that one.
Oh, she's mad. She's mad at you. Oh, he's just like, yeah, I'm a vampire guy.
Hey, what are you looking at? I can't see.
I'm a douche. It's Malcolm. I hate that guy.
Oh. Don't hate on Mako.
And this one you did in a YouTube video, right?
Which one is it?
It's a girl holding like a big gun with like a green ball.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's one they did after I saw that speed bag.
And this is a character we're talking about, the anime character.
Anime.
And her father, Man.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, wow. I really like the one that says honor.
Oh, yeah, that's gorgeous, bro.
Dude.
Thanks.
That's breathtaking.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice, too.
Yeah, so
There it is.
that's CT. I could keep going, but
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, I draw a lot, I update a lot, so.
Likes to update a lot, so allow him to update a lot.
Alright, so thank you to all my guests, and thank you especially to all you lovely viewers who, I know it's late for a lot of you, and you spent your time with us, and if you're viewing this in the future and we're not live, hi, I'm right behind you.